This telecast is copyrighted by Hometown 24 for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or retransmission of this game without the express written consent of Hometown 24 is prohibited.
Welcome to the Clutz Auto game of the day, and that will be at Knott County Central High School, Gary Hammond's Field here. Knott County Central Patriots versus the Jenkins Cavaliers in a 53rd District baseball game. I'm Manus Blair. I'm joined along by Jim McCauley. David Adams had a little bit of a family emergency, and he won't be with us tonight. So those out there that could say a prayer for him, and had an actual fall this week as well, and he had a little bit of an injury, and plus praying for his little granddaughter Ellison as she's trying to recover in ICU. Jim, nice weather.
Oh, you couldn't ask for a better day for baseball. You know, we're both baseball aficionados, man. So we say every day is a good day for baseball. You know, it's kind of like, you know, you get to watch a great 53rd District matchup. The Cubs are in first place in the Central Division. You know, the Wildcats have beat Tennessee and Louisville this week in baseball. So all's right in McCauley world today.
Well, excluding the Cubs being in first and winning. Of course, the Reds won today for those Reds fans out there. And, of course, most of us did not get to see that because we were working today.
It's a gentleman's special.
But, you know, they won 5-2 today. And, yeah, anytime that you can get out on the baseball diamond and with great weather, this is almost like summer-like weather.
Oh, it feels like tournament weather.
So, yeah, it's more like May weather. And so looking forward to the action. You know, Knott County Central comes in, and they are let me get my stuff here. I forgot you were copying off of me. Knott County Central coming in at 11-8 on the season. Jenkins 2-8 on the season. Kind of going through the schedule of Knott County Central.
Well, you know, Knott started off early, had a really rough games in the mid-stretch here. You know, they went down to
the
Myrtle Beach, Cal Ripken experience, and played some good competition, picked up some losses, but, you know, iron sharpens iron, and they came back and starting to play some pretty good baseball.
Well, you know, coming in, they are basically won 6 of their last 8 baseball games, and kind of looking forward to seeing them. I have not had an opportunity to see them live nor on any other stream, so looking forward to seeing Knott County Central. As far as Jenkins, like I said, they're 2-8 on the season. Picked up a big district win against Cordia early in the year, so in all actuality, you know, they're undefeated in the district. Picked up a win last week against Redbird as well. Lost a close game to East Ridge. So looking forward once again, having seen Jenkins as well. And they got here a little bit late, and so we're kind of holding pat until we get lineups for Jenkins from Coach Newsom and their warm-up, and then we'll get right into the action. Some people had asked last week to me when where the district is going to be, and the district baseball will be at Letcher County Central High School, and along with that, the district softball for 53rd District will be at Jenkins. So that's something that's right around the corner, Jim.
Oh yeah, it's you know, you're really now into the meat of the season. Rotations are pretty much set, batting lineups, and you know, I've talked to Coach Dameron several times, and you know, every game he's juggled his batting lineup around. But he told me yesterday he feels like that he's finally, you know, they had to replace some studs last year. I saw today that Jaden Huff had his 4th home run on the college at Alice Lloyd.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
You know, you can't replace kids like that right off the bat. But these young kids, they love Coach Dameron, and they're starting to buy in, and they're starting to play some good baseball.
Yeah, and, you know, the thing about it is you were talking about arms and, you know, those pitch limits that you to ensure no injuries and to get arm strength going in early to mid March, and as a result of that, you move on and you start raising that ante up, and especially with younger kids, you try to keep that pitch count down until they can get straight. You may not even allow them to throw curveballs early in the year and just work on off-speed stuff and work on fastball. So, like you're saying, we're in that meat of the schedule, and, of course, a lot of district matchups, including tonight, Hazard and Prairie Central and the 54th playing each other. So got a lot of good games. Letcher Central is playing Pikeville. Pikeville just recently defeated by Raceland in the All-A sectional. And just a lot of good baseball being played. And the weather is conducive so far.
Well, like you said, man, it's, you kind of now, you don't worry about throwing that 95 to 105 pitch range.
Right.
When it's cold weather and it's rainy out, you try to limit your kids to 60, 70 pitches at most.
Right.
But as the weather fares up and warms up, and we're at the point now where, the gloves are off. And now you start strategizing your rotations per schedule and moving towards tournament play.
Right. And, when you start looking at all these kids and everything, and the weather gets a little bit warmer, it's hard to get in our fans. As I look around, we've got a pretty good amount of fans here, and it's really tough on parents, grandparents, and classmates to come out and watch it when it's 35 with a 20-mile-an-hour wind coming from the northwest. And as I say that, I look out to the flag at center field here at Gary Hammond's Field, and it is limp. No wind's going to be in it. It is cloudy here, and the clouds and everything hopefully just stays cloudy, because we don't want Aiden to get wet, or our cameras, which is more important. Aiden is where, of course, Josh may not consider that to be the truth.
That's true.
But anyway, as we're talking about different things and going on, we're going to talk about all kinds of things. We're not going to talk about David Adams because he's not here to defend himself.
Yeah, it's and David wanted to be here. I mean, David, anytime he has a chance to support the kids of East Kentucky, he loves to get out here and promote them.
And he made three. As I was telling Jim, he made 3 phone calls to me on the way home from work, and I finally got him to understand that he need to move on and go check on his granddaughter and check on himself as well. So. Very dedicated to Hometown 24 and the mountain kids that we serve on Hometown 24.
Oh, yeah. And, we're probably about 10 minutes away from first pitch at this point. But looking at the field, and a lot of times, things go unnoticed. When you come and look at a baseball field, it's the baseball coach's extra child.
Yeah.
And I know that Coach Dameron, he spends a lot of time. I know how it's like at Letcher Central. The coaches are taking care of the field. We're not the pros. We don't have a field crew to come in and help you. So this field looks absolutely amazing and one of the coolest venues to watch baseball in all of East Kentucky.
And, people always make fun of the first years. I umpired here a lot for Coach Hammonds and the Patriots, and a lot of different changes, including I remember when they didn't even have the nice overhang here to protect you from the weather. And, people would run. They'd be in their chairs surrounding the bottom side of the field, and just a really nice play. And, I really, every time that they show the picture on Facebook or any social media from the drone view, it is absolutely beautiful to look at. And a lot of different changes in baseball since the years I coached back in the early 90s, and just a lot of different improvements. And of course, one of those is Wolfe County.
Oh, wow. It's what a beautiful – I watched a little bit of the softball game.
And, Wolfe County is going to host the baseball, and one of the advantages of it is it's a turf field, and therefore if you have bad weather,
Yeah, as long as it's not lightning, you can pretty much play.
Alice Lloyd has helped a lot of times being that plan B in district or regional play with their turf field, allowing the 14th region to host over there if they got into a predicament with weather or field conditions. And we always want to thank Alice Lloyd for doing that for the baseball coach Cornett and for them allowing that to happen. So, the facilities make it a lot easier. And like you said, the support starts at the top with the baseball coach and lining the fields off. And then even after the game is over, redoing the field so that the next day it's ready and prepared to go.
Talking about facilities, I played high school baseball in the late 80s, early 90s. And pretty much, I remember going and playing on the first grass infield that I'd played on and thinking, wow, I went to heaven.
Instead of dirt.
And now, because we had to play away from here to play on great facilities because of the terrain. It was so hard to carve out a field in these mountains. But now, just so many nice fields, across eastern Kentucky. Floyd Central's field, wow.
Oh, yeah. Same as this field here. The footage that has been circulated, and I forgot how many views this field and Floyd Central's fields have gotten throughout America. And I guess the world.
Yeah, back then, if you played in the infield, you had a black eye all season because you never knew where the hops were coming. And now, you can almost every field in the 13th, 14th, and 15th region are quality fields. Yeah. And our kids, we could play here or go play at the new field at Wise or Alice Lloyd, and there's not a great deal of difference.
And our kids in this area deserves that opportunity and that to do that. So with that, I think looks like we're still a little ways away, and we're getting the lineups and everything as we're talking.
Let's talk a little bit about some of these kids. Right now we know on the mound for Knott County, which will be the home team, is a lefty, Jaden Ambergy. This will be, I think it's his second start of the year.
Second start, yep.
And what would you say? Would you run down his ERA?
He's 1-0, and he has yet to give up a run. And, a lot of times you look at strikeouts versus walks, and he has struck out 8 batters and walked 0. So
I would think that's pretty good, man.
I think that's quality control as you can get. And, of course, Jaden plays also on the basketball team for
good
Knott
kid,
County
good
Central.
Athlete.
Yeah, despite some other people that he I thank goodness for his mother.
Yeah, I can't say enough about Justin. He always takes care of us here.
He gave us a ride up the hill.
Yeah, and before the game, do you need something to eat? You need something to drink? And that's always the hospitality we get in Knott County.
Always.
Basketball, the regional tournament, Superintendent Kahn brought us food, brought us drinks, and, that means a lot because we really don't have time once the game starts to do anything.
No.
On the Jenkins side tonight, you've got Malik Wright starting the game.
And I believe this is his first start on the season. When I went back and through, I could not find, and this will be his first start. So not a whole lot on Malik, and I guess we'll just have to do it by basic observation once he comes out and starts throwing some.
But now, Jenkins, we've had a chance to watch a lot of these kids. I know I coached against them last year. One kid that stands out to me is the first baseman, Dakota Johnson.
Yep.
Dakota got a really nice bat in the lineup. He's a strong kid. Coming off of a wrist injury that held him out most of basketball season.
Right.
But, he's always been a baseball aficionado. His dad was a good baseball player at Jenkins back in the 1990s. And, Dakota's a guy that can hit it a long way, and he doesn't strike out a whole lot.
Yeah, and it's good to see him at the end of the basketball season get held up so he can play baseball.
Yeah. And then you look over on Knott's side. Connor Napier.
Well, before we move on over, we've got Cale Owens that, some people call it, and the people of Knott County probably is not going to like this a great deal, but Cale Owens is the one that made that three-pointer at the
in the district championship.
In the district championship.
Yeah, you're correct. And if I'm not mistaken, Cale threw a no-hitter earlier this year.
He did, and saw that on social media and everything.
And he'll be playing shortstop, but he's got great speed. I can't speak a lot to his baseball prowess, but he's a good athlete.
Good athlete, and usually good athletes.
Translate across all sports.
Yeah. And then you're back to Knott County Central when you look at Connor Napier is going to be leading off, and looks like to me they're giving a thumbs up. I think we're ready to
do the
lineups and all, and if we're going to do the national anthem, we'll take a break when that comes about. And not really sure if they're going to call out the starting lineups. Probably are for Knott County Central. Knott County Central had already warmed up when we got here and was ready to go when Jenkins has loosened up and ran from foul pole to foul pole and have thrown in the corner. And I see my good buddy Chris Anderson down there. His son.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Gary Hammond Stadium for tonight's 53rd District matchup between the Jenkins Cavaliers and the Knott County Central Patriots.
And you're hearing PA man Larry Drum Thornsbury.
The man that bleeds navy and scarlet.
And he is announcing position-wise as they come out. And I'll go through the lineups. Knott County Central, shortstop Connor Napier. Catcher Braden Hall, pitcher Jaden Ambergy, right field Carson Sims, center field Mason Barnett, first base Corey Livingood, left fielder Mason Rachel, second base Colton Riley, and at third base will be Tate Kraft. And after that, I think they're going to come forward here, and they're exchanging the lineups. And Jenkins is going to be walking on out here, and we're going to have the national anthem, and we'll take a break during that and take tribute to our great country, and we'll be back. And stay with us here on the Klutz Auto Game of the Week.
Great communities attract talented people to live, work, and raise their families. We're committed to delivering future-proof broadband so our friends, families, and neighbors can live rich lives in smart rural communities across America. Your community is our community. We're your rural broadband partners. You do great things. We make great things possible.
For over 25 years, we've fought for Kentuckians injured through no fault of their own. During that time, we've traveled all across the country to take that fight to some of the biggest insurance carriers and corporations in the world. That kind of dedication is what's needed to get every dollar you deserve. If you've been injured in a motor vehicle collision caused by someone else's fault, call Bates & Sloan right now and let us fight for you. The first consultation is free, and the attorney you see that first day will be the same attorney you see from the beginning of your case to the end. That's our promise to you at Bates & Sloan.
TVS Cable has everything you need to stay entertained. Video services with all your favorite channels and local sports on Hometown 24. Ask about digital voice service for home and business. High-speed internet so you never fall behind in a game. There's something for all ages. We've got you covered. Sit back and enjoy everything TVS has to offer. Stay connected with TVS.
My name is Emily, and I'm from Laurel County. When I was searching for a college, I wanted to find a place that felt like home and where I could make a difference. The moment I stepped on Alice Lloyd's campus, I knew this was where I belonged. There's a sense of community here and a focus on serving others that you can't find at other colleges. For me, it wasn't just about continuing education. It was about being a part of something bigger. Apply now to find your home at alc.edu.
Come right to the source and get the region's best basketball coverage. HT24 puts you right in the middle of the action, and it's free to watch on Facebook. Watch the state's most exciting basketball right here with HT24.
And welcome back to Hometown 24 and our baseball game here at Gary Hammond's Field. And Knott County Central, Letcher Central, Manus Blair with Jim McCauley. And like I said, David Adams is out and about taking care of family business. And prayers go out to my good buddy. And this weather, Jim, once again, I think the rain holds off. We're in good shape. And kind of looking at Jay Nambergy, left-hander. Failed to mention he is a left-hander, so sometimes that natural tail on the fastball is hard, especially for a left-hander. It tails back into him, and we'll see what kind of stuff he's got.
Yeah, just watching him warm up, his breaking ball breaks really well. He's not really an over-the-top pitcher. He's almost about a three-quarter with a little lower slot angle with his arm, which sometimes puts a little extra movement on the ball.
Right.
So, the thing that you want to see from, he's you just want to, as Coach Dameron wants him to throw strikes, get ahead in the count early, and that allows you to do what you want to do. If the first pitch, and I always said the most important pitch.
Yeah.
When you get ahead 0-1, it's a complete, and the statistics are crazy. The difference
analytically
right. From being a 0-1 or 1-0.
Oh yeah.
So very important. And the fastball, get ahead early with that fastball.
And it allows your defense to be ready. If I got this around behind,
it's good.
You good? Okay. We're all tangled up here. But, it allows the defense to be better prepared when you throw strikes, and especially as in cooler weather. And we talked a little bit in the softball game we did last week. You kind of grow roots if you don't watch, and you got to dance and draw a line in the – a lot of people will watch a game and say, what are they doing out there playing in the dirt? No, they're getting their feet ready and talking and, getting ready for the ball. And like you said last week, I want the ball to be hit to me. That's what you're saying anytime that you're playing defense.
As a defensive player, you're thinking, what do I do when it's hit to me? Where do I go? So when it comes to you, you don't have to think about it. It becomes automatic on what you do from that point. Looks like Knott County's playing some younger players tonight. See a couple of the younger kids on the lineup tonight. Tate Craft at third. It's an 8th grader. I think Riley is also an 8th grader.
Yeah, and the thing about it is baseball is, and you're talking about that, and Sammy Whitaker comes in, and he's an 8th grader, and a fine young basketball player is waving to some of the crowd here. Sammy batting .500.
For Jenkins, the left fielder, number 14, Sammy Whitaker.
Knott County, which it is a really big field, but Knott County has a tendency they love to play their outfielders in tight.
And you can see right now they're playing very shallow, and the first pitch is a strike. And just like
first
you
pitch,
said.
6:17 p.m. first pitch.
So Whitaker up in the box. And that's up, and it'd be 1-1. Thank you for joining us here on Hometown 24. Tickled to be able to bring this game to you tonight.
And a lot of times when you play your outfield in, especially a lot of hitters, as he fires in the inside corner for strike two, you look and see that shallow outfield, and what do you want to do?
Try to overswing.
So there's some mental aspect of it as well.
Right, and instead of just picking out a gap and hitting in the right or center.
Nice curveball.
And it broke back into Whitaker, and he was able to get his bat out there and get a piece of it to hang tough.
And it's a lot of these kids, I haven't seen a left-hander. You see a curveball usually coming to the front shoulder and dropping down. But now, it's looking outside and then breaks down and in towards the batter, makes it a different viewpoint.
And usually a lot of times he'll come with that fastball in the outer half, and there it is. And that's going to be called strike. And that'll be the first out.
Shortstop.
So we've got Kel Owens up. And, Kel, definitely good speed here. Not a bad time if he wants to lay one down as the third baseman's playing even with the bag.
And, it's tailored here with that grass to hold those bunts. And he is choking up a little bit on the bat before, and he doesn't go, but it hits him, and he will get first base with a hit.
It's surprising. He started off with a curveball that time, and, the batter kind of lunged like it was going to be outside, and it caught him in the arm.
Yep, and up will come Dakota Johnson, and Dakota batting 267, one out, and of course Owens will get his lead over there. Got to watch with the left-hander.
Yeah, that's what I was going to. Good pitch.
Good right down and a good swing by Johnson.
You know, it's such especially in the mountains where you don't see a lot of left-handed pitchers, it really puts a stress on your base coach over there.
And, you know, you're reading that front foot to see if he goes beyond the rubber, and a lot of them will just hold with that front foot. Johnson went after with a bunt, and that's going to be strike 2, 0-2, one down. Whitaker on first. Lights are on here a little bit. Trying to go between light and dark.
Look for Amberger to go with the curveball in the dirt or maybe a high fastball right here.
And it's going to be a strike. And that's going to be another called strikeout. And that's going to be 2 down for Knott County Central.
Jaden throwing some pretty good velocity to start out the game.
And that will bring up Hunter White for Jenkins with 2 down. Batting 133 on the season. Goes after it, and that's going to be a strike.
For Jenkins, number 10, Hunter White.
You know, it's probably not a bad spot right here to go ahead and send the runner. 0-1, you're probably going to get an off-speed pitch right here, and then you come back. Even if he gets through out, you still got your cleanup hitter up to bat.
And, you know, they may be putting him in motion, and you're right, and he goes after it, bunts through it, the throw
Nice
down,
throw. I believe he
and
missed
he's
him.
going to be safe. He went in through the back door, looked like.
Yeah, and right there, you know, Kale didn't have a great lead, but he got a good jump on the ball and made a very athletic move, sliding, like Maina said, through the back door, center field side to avoid the tag of the shortstop.
So a nice slide by Owens. 0-2 the count now. Runner in scoring position with 2 down. Hamburg sets and comes with it, and he struck out the side, and that will end the top of the first. And when we come back, it'll be the Knott County Central Patriots in the bottom of the first. So stay with us.
For over 100 years, the Bank of Hyman has been committed to serving our community and serving the future of our families, homes, and businesses. With our new convenient online banking, viewing your account balance and history, transferring money, and paying bills has never been easier or more secure. And with the construction of our new headquarters, we've renewed our promise to Hyman to stand by our customers even in troubling economic times, because we're not just your bank, we're your neighbors. That's the Bank of Hyman. Log on to www.bankofhyman.com or give us a call at 606-785-3158.
This is the 4th app. I don't remember any of these passwords.
With so many subscriptions, it can be impossible to keep up.
Who said that?
Don't worry about who I am. Worry about all the money you're losing paying for all these subscriptions.
I have to use like 13 to watch all the shows I want to watch.
Then sign up for TVS. With TVS, you have all your favorite shows with just one bill. So stop throwing away money and throw away those subscriptions.
Magellan, what should we do with all this money we save by switching to TVS?
Welcome back to Knott County Central as the Jenkins Cavaliers left 1 on base that time and had no hits and no runs in the top, which will bring us to Knott County Central. And, of course, the leadoff batter will be Connor Napier of Knott County Central. And, of course, Connor once again played basketball for the Patriots this year, batting .293 on the season. Kind of looking at Malik Wright a little bit here is, like we said, he has no record coming in to this particular game.
You know, and if you're Coach Newsom right now, the biggest thing you don't want to do, you don't want to come out and start walking some guys early. You know, come out here, let them hit the ball. It's a big field. Let your defense play behind you. Give a shout out to a couple of our fans that are watching it. One of our all-time favorites, Bumper Adams, said he's enjoying the game from his recliner. Hey, Bump. And Daryl McBee also watching the game on his way to church. And Daryl, if anybody knows Daryl, on my end of the county, Daryl has been a mainstay coaching youth sports since I was in youth sports, and that's a long time.
Since I was a young man.
And that's a real long time, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry, Daryl. Shout out to Ryan Farmer. I think he'd watch pickleball as we did it. So shout out to Ryan. And as we're going through the warm-ups by Malik Wright, and I'm trying to get a little bit of a read on him. Has a nice fluid delivery to him. And as I say that, he holds on to that thing. But
yeah, that one was about 59 feet.
Yeah.
But, you know, once again, it's, you know, Jenkins really want to come out and make the hitters of Knott Central put the ball in play. Nothing free, no walks.
So it'll be Connor Napier leading off, Braden Hall and Jaden Ambergy to start the bottom of the first.
So we're about ready to roll here as the umpire calls the batter into the box.
And you know the dimensions here at Knott County Central is down the right field line is 315 and down the left field line is 300. So a little bit, and there goes the first pitch, and it's hit deep to center field, and it's going to be the first out. And that was a nice catch out there that time by Roger Niles. And so that'll be one down.
And that's exactly what you want. You know, if you're Jenkins, you want to get up there, keep that pitch count low, and throw it in there and make them put it in play.
Yep. And up to bat will be Braden Hall batting .391 on the season.
You know, third base was playing in front of the bag, anticipating potentially a bunt here.
Yep. And right with a pitch, and it's fouled straight back.
Right off the bat, you know, it looks like Malik doing a good job throwing strikes.
Yeah, and just like you said, it just makes the game for everybody better when you throw strikes. And then you can go fishing, pitch inside, and that's going to be 1-1. The old saying is once you throw strikes, then you can then start going around the plate, which is 17 inches. You go in and out, up and down. Here comes the next pitch, fouled straight back again, 1-2. Thank you once again for joining us here on a pleasant evening at Knott County Central High School.
You know, still third base with 2 strikes, still playing up quite a bit here. Short and second for Cavaliers, deep, almost on the grass. First base playing even.
And there it's hit to second base, and we'll come up with it, and that's going to be a 4-3, 2 outs. As Chase McNeely comes up, makes the routine play, and that's what you got to do too.
Yeah, you know, the only thing, on the negatives, when you play that deep, even on the routine ground ball, it was a relatively close call.
Yeah,
at first base. It's a deep infield.
And Jaden Ambergy batting .341 on the season, and he swings through it. Jaden right up on the plate. Must have watched Kentucky play Tennessee. They get right up on the plate now, and there goes the curve, and it's going to be a called second strike.
Yeah, that's with Kentucky, I think they moved up to 26 in RPI today.
Well, that's what happens when you beat a top 5 team twice on their home turf. Ambergy choking up on the bat to try to make contact here against Wright. Here comes the pitch, and it's down 1-2.
Yeah, good pitch, but Wright, you're up 0-2, and you don't want to give him anything to hit. See if he'll chase one in the dirt.
So he heard that fishing analogy by me, and Ambergy said, I'm not going fishing this time. So we'll see 1-2, 2 down. Here comes the pitch, and it's hit up the middle to the shortstop. Shortstop across, and it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for the Cavaliers. And when we come back, we'll move to the top of the second. So stay with us here on Hometown 24.
A lot has changed in 100 years. We've gone from the Model T to the electric car, from silent film to home theaters, and from the telegram to the iPhone. And through it all, People's Bank and Trust of Hazard has been there for local people. From paper checks to debit cards, from wire transfers to online banking, People's Bank has maintained a tradition of service while embracing the future for your financial needs. Celebrating a century of service to the mountains. People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC. TVS has made a commitment to bringing you the best channel lineups and most diverse video packages available. We are proud to introduce Broadband TV, our newest and most affordable video package yet. 48 of the most watched channels we offer, some new channels only available with this package, and over 300 of the best free ad-supported channels available, all for only $29.95.
Welcome back to Hometown 24's telecast of Knott County Central and Jenkins Cavaliers. A quick first inning, both pitchers.
Yes.
Wright for Jenkins and Ambergy for Knott County Central throwing strikes. And, of course, Ambergy with the 3 strikeout first inning, and see if Jenkins can put the ball in play a little bit. So.
Yeah, you know, a great job of both pitchers, like you said. Very impressed with Wright. He came up and threw strikes, let the defense play behind him. Solid plays on the infield by McNeely and Owens,
yes.
to turn around and do a good job. And a nice play in center field by Niles. So, you know, second inning, still 0-0. Up to bat, the center fielder, Roger Niles.
Of course. I love that 99 number.
It's like somebody that plays for the Yankees, I think.
Yeah.
For Jenkins, center fielder, number 99, Roger Knott.
And if Roger can do what Aaron Judge does,
outfield better back up.
Jenkins will be tickled to death. Here comes the first pitch, and he's a little bit behind on it.
Good fastball on the outside corner by Ambergy. Jenkins batters are quite a bit behind Ambergy.
Yeah,
right
and
now.
sometimes it just takes a while to gauge the speed of a particular pitcher, and that's going to be up, and it's 1-1. Ambergy will step back, wind, and here comes the pitch, and it's a little bit up.
Yeah, curveball that time, and it just kind of spun on him and didn't bite.
He kind of opened up a little bit too much, kind of flew open on his front side. 2-1 pitch. And it's going to run him 3-1. And like I said, Ambergy without a walk on the season. So Jenkins trying to get him to do something that nobody else has been able to do. And that's going to be called strike 2, full count.
Yeah, and you know, Ambergy just got to come right at him with that fastball. They're not close to catching up with it right now. So, you know, I don't see any reason to go to the off-speed stuff.
And here comes the money pitch, and it's going to be away, and that's going to be the first walk on the season for Jaden Ambergy. And that will bring up Chris Anderson, the DH.
For Jenkins, the designated hitter, number 3, Chris Anderson.
So nobody out, runner on first base for Anderson.
Ambergy comes set and throws over. He's going to get him, and it's thrown away, and Niles is going to get to second base on the errant throw. So that's going to be E1.
Yeah, and you know, he had him leaning and came back with a good move.
Nice
down
job
in the dirt.
of freezing him, and he took off and he threw behind him. So that's going to put Niles and the Jenkins Cavaliers in scoring position.
Good pitch.
And it's going to be a nice start back with the first strike.
You know, if I'm Anderson looking here, you know, it's probably the point I'm going to try to butt him to third, move him around a little bit.
And, you know, Niles has got to be, if it's hit to the right side, he's got to get over, and that might be what he's trying to do here, and that's going to be strike 2 on the swing.
Yeah, still hitters are way behind.
And you see Anderson, as you were saying that, Jim, chokes up on the bat. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be strike 3, and that's going to be 1 down for the Cavaliers.
Nice high fastball by Amberg, and I like that. No curveballs in that series right there. And, you know, that's the thing. You know, if they're not catching up with your fastball, don't throw anything else that speeds their bat up.
And Damon Church will come
Pitcher,
to bat.
number 4, Damon Church.
First baseman coming way up, Jim. And it's going to be a called strike.
Yeah, Church back in the back of the box and choked up on the bat.
Yep. usually that's an indicator he's not going to bunt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying when you're back far in the box like that, you know.
And, of course, Kraft, even at the bag on third, here comes the pitch, and it's going to be strike 2. Don't think you're going to see, and kind of like you, Jim, I don't think we're going to see any kind of breaking ball whatsoever here.
No, you know, I think that, you know, just stick with what's working right now. He's got a great breaking ball, but, you know, save it for when you have to have it.
Knott Central's outfield playing very shallow, and on the
breaking ball.
And a nice steal that time by Niles. He was gone, and that's going to be 2 outs for the Cavaliers, and Preston Hammonds will come to bat for the Cavaliers, trying to get a big 2-out hit here to put the Cavaliers up here at the top of the second. Comes the pitch, and it's going to be a called strike. Steve Campbell calling the balls and strikes behind home plate tonight. And that is the correct call. And it will score the run for the Cavaliers. Niles will be the first run on the balk, and that was the right call.
Yep, Amberger just opened up that shoulder over to third base, and that's an easy one to pick up. And Amberger, visibly frustrated, throws one about 10 miles an hour faster to the backstop.
Got to hold on, guys. We got a ball behind home plate. 1-1, the wind up for Amberger. And that's going to be on the corner, called strike 2. So Amberger's got to clear his mind, just move on to the next pitch. It's kind of hard to do, but after giving up the 1 run.
We just saw 2 Knott Central alumni that were great baseball players walk in front of us, Harold Kraft and Jamie Couch, part of that storied early 90s, late 80s run with Gary Hammonds.
And that's going to be the 3rd out for Jenkins. They score 1 run. They're up 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. Stay with us here on Hometown 24.
My name is Isabella, and I am from Madison County, Kentucky. Instead of choosing a larger university, I chose to attend Alice Lloyd College because I wanted a more personal college experience. The small class sizes provide a close relationship between students and professor that isn't possible at any other university. ALC is more than a place to learn, it is a place to grow, serve, and lead. Learn more at alc.edu.
Come right to the source and get the region's best basketball coverage. HT24 puts you right in the middle of the action, and it's free to watch on Facebook. Watch the state's most exciting basketball right here with HT24.
Welcome back as we'll move to the bottom of the second. Jenkins up 1-0 as Wright will return to the pitcher's mound. And for Knott County Central, they will be led off by Carson Sims, batting .244 on the season. And you talked about Harold Kraft and Jamie Couch. I called a lot of their games. I don't know what that means. I don't know
I know what it means. By looking at Jamie's hairline.
In my hairline.
Yeah. But no, honestly, 2 of the better baseball players in that era.
Coach Hammonds had a outstanding clubs Hall of Fame coach. Shout out to my manager of all the years at Letcher, Tim Eldridge, is tuning in from London, Kentucky.
Got right now in the second inning, Hazard up on Prairie Central, 5-1.
Hazard right now, you got a kind of the prohibitive favorite right now in baseball. And like we said, the baseball regional will be held at Wolfe County High School. First pitch by Wright, breaking ball, and it's fouled directly back.
That was a high breaking ball that didn't really break.
And Sims did a little bit of a double clutch with
Yep.
his front foot. He's out a little bit, but his hands stayed back, and that's what you're trying to do a lot of times, keep your hands back, even if your front body's moving.
Well, you know,
Step up and down.
That all-speed pitch, you got to look to take it to right field.
And that ball will be down 1-1.
You know, Jenkins playing pretty much straight away in the outfield.
Playing a little bit deeper than what Knott County Central.
Substantially, yes.
Yeah. And here comes the 1-1. And it's hit to the right side, and up will be Whitaker. Bobbles it, throws is off, and it will pull him off, and it will be an E4.
But that's what I was talking about, man. It's when you play that deep. There's a lot of bad things that can happen, and that you're having to think about it a long time. And also, when you field the ball, the runner's way down the line when you're back on the edge of the grass.
Well, and, you know, a lot of the toughest is in my years of playing infield is that ball that's hit straight to you instead of to the left or to the right, and you got to charge that ball.
See, now look, he's moved up.
Yep. A little bit more of a double play depth here as Barnett will look to bunt it, and it's hit, but it is going to be fouled. Barnett batting .333 on the season. Let's see if Coach Dameron will take that bunt off, and no one holding Sims on.
No, he's
over
got
there.
a free pass.
So
if
he wants to go right now, he can go as the first baseman keeps creeping in.
And I don't understand why he didn't go, because he could have easily had third right there.
Yep. And it's going to get away.
Third baseman charged on the bunt too, and if he would have had a run and go off the pitch, he could have easily taken third on a double.
Yep. And I've had that happen to me where you bunt it and they go from first to third. Many a time. So wild pitch, it was called by the official scorekeeper. I am not the official scorekeeper. I'm unofficial, and here comes the bunt, and off takes third base on the steal. Sims had a good jump.
No, and you're going to see Coach Dameron very upset not getting that ball down.
And it's 1-2. That was a called second strike.
And actually, there's no better place to bunt when the ball's in the outside corner.
And here it goes, and it's hit to the shortstop, Owens. Owens goes down to get the ball. The throw will, and that will be an out. And that'll be 6-3, and the RBI will go to Barnett. Owens got down on it and then came up and fired it.
Yeah, fired a rocket across.
So that will tie the score at 1-1, and that will lead up to Corey Livingood batting .235 on the season for Knott County.
You know, Livingood had a lot of pop in his bat last year.
Got good size too. And it's hit down on the handle,
that's
but is Owens going to be able to get it? No, unable to get to it, and that's going to fall for a base hit. And that will bring up Mason Rachel, 143 on the season.
Mason Rachel.
Johnson is going to hold on, Livingood over there. Right comes set. Here comes the pitch.
Good pitch.
And it's going to be the old Pied Piper.
You know, I really enjoy listening to these kids walk up music, man. It always tells you the personality of the kid when they come up. It's always entertaining.
I never had that when I was playing.
No. I just said, hurry up and get up there.
And that was up in his eyes, and he went after it.
It's another curveball that just hung.
Looks like a big watermelon sometimes, and you just want to attack it sometimes. 0-2, one down, runner on first.
I heard Harry Carey say one time he was like a kleptomaniac in a laundromat.
That's exactly
He got away with a hanger.
And here comes the pitch, and it was outside.
That looked like a pretty good pitch for 2 strikes.
2. That's a good pitch. Way ahead in the count, and you don't put a big fat fastball or curveball in there. 1-2 comes set. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be down, and it's going to be 2-2. Nice eye by Rachel. Let's see if Coach Dameron will
be a good
put,
spot for a hit and run right here.
That's what I'm thinking here. Trying to hit that ball to the opposite field between the 3-4 gap. Here comes the pitch. And he's worked it to a full count after going 0. Start off with a 0-2. Let's see what Wright can do. And I would imagine that the runner is probably going on the 3-2 here with 1 out. Getting a good lead over there. Here comes the pitch. And it's hit, and it's going to go foul.
You know, I haven't seen the pitcher really check the runner yet. You know, he's coming to get set, and he's not really giving the runner any look right now.
So 3-2 still. Let's see what Rachel can do. And there it's hit to the right side. And the runner kind of confused.
Yeah.
And that was a nice job of running.
You know, you've got to get to the ball.
Yep.
Patriots, number 15, Colton Riley.
And I've called McNeely Whitaker. I'm sorry. It's McNeely that's playing second base. Runners at first and second. Riley up to bat, batting .333. And that's going to be outside.
You know, a lot of times you say this is a great point to bunt with 1 out. But, you know, when you're at the bottom of the lineup,
trying to get
through. You know, he'll probably let him swing away right here.
Well, it depends on if he makes contact, and that's going to get away, and that's going to advance both runners.
You know, that changes everything now. You know, now this is a great opportunity to squeeze when you've got the, you know, but as the batter, you know, the coach wants him to go opposite field.
Right.
You know, get it to the right side, scores a run.
And, you know, Owen's playing deep at short. If you hit a ground ball to short, it's going to score 1 run. And that's going to be outside, and that's going to be 3-0. This is where we talked last week where you might just holler down and say,
oh, yeah,
take it. Instead of going through signals or numbers or anything else. And here comes the 3-0, and it's going to be ball 4, and that will load the bases.
Danger time for the Cavaliers as their bases are loaded with Tate Craft coming up the bat.
Tate Craft, 6 at bats on the season. You have to pick up a hit. And let's see, Jenkins' alignment looks like on the corners they will probably be coming home and turn it in the middle. Here comes the pitch, and aggressive swing by Craft.
Yeah, pulled his head out real bad on that swing.
Looked like to me looking to take that one downtown.
Yeah.
Jenkins outfield playing straight away.
And still playing pretty deep for the 9-hitter up.
There's curve, and it's hit into left field.
RBI,
let's see.
More than likely. That's trouble. Nope.
And that's going to be the catch.
He was late on his tag.
And he's going to get home. And the left fielder that had thrown it in to McNeely at second, and that's going to be a sacrifice fly and RBI for Craft.
Shortstop, number 13, Connor Napier.
And that's going to put Knott County Central up 2-1 here in the bottom of the second. And it will bring up Connor Napier, who flew out to center in the first inning.
But here's where you see the difference. You see the pitcher, which, you know, Napier hit the first pitch.
Right.
But you've had a chance to sit over there and watch what he's got, time him down a little bit, and see if Napier's a little bit more selective at the plate this time.
So one down.
Two down.
2 down, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I was looking at the score clock out there instead of looking at my chart. And that is a ball.
And, you know,
see,
now
I'm not, my new glasses, I can look out there and see that they've got 1 out up there. That's probably my fault.
See if Napier, now it's, you know, if it's fat, he's going to be swinging.
And straight back, he was right on the ball. 1-1. And as you said, a lot of times when you're sitting in the dugout, you're paying attention to how the pitcher is operating and what they're throwing. And I haven't made the pitch count, but he's seen plenty of them. And there it's down, and it's going to get away from the catcher, and it's going to be 2-1, and that will advance Rachel and Riley to third and second with 2 down. Napier getting on up in the box a little bit. I think he's looking breaking ball right here. And that's going to get away from the catcher, and it's going to score, and that will be Rachel will score the 3rd run for Knott County Central. And another wild pitch. And, you know, one thing in playing at Knott County Central, you got a pretty good amount of area behind you here. And
puts a lot of pressure on the catcher to block the ball in front of you.
Definitely so. Right here, got to bear down, cannot give up any more here. Has given up 3 runs here in the bottom of the 2nd. Napier looking to score that runner from 3rd, and that's going to send Napier down with a walk, and that will be 1st and 3rd. And Braden Hall, the catcher, will come to bat where he grounded out to McNeely on the 4-3 in the 1st inning.
Now, I'm anxious to see it a 1st and 3rd situation with 2 outs if Napier doesn't try to do something a little delayed still, early break right here.
Right comes set, he takes off, and it's going to be hit right where they moved, and I nubbed it out there, and I'll see if he's going to try. They are going to send Napier home, and it's cut off by Wright. And 2 runs will score on Braden Hall's single right off the nub of the bat.
Yeah.
Pitcher, number 14.
But, you know, with that early break going with the runner, it pulled the second baseman to the bag and opened up that hole for that ball to go in there. Just kind of call that one a Texas leaguer, a CNI single.
Definitely so. And Wright trying to battle here, and off goes the runner. And it's going to be a stolen base for Hall. And that was a ball on Jaden. Once again, 2 down. Wright trying to get out of this predicament here. And Ambergy will hit it to McNeely up with the throw. And that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning for Knott County Central, but they pick up 5 runs in the bottom of the 2nd, and we will move on to the top of the 3rd. So stay with us here on Hometown 24.
We have determined that you have early onset Alzheimer's disease.
Why me? How could I have prevented this?
Research shows that reducing stress levels, not partaking in substance abuse, and being aware of safety measures are a few ways to prevent it.
So how quickly can this progress?
There's no definitive timeline. Everyone is different.
For over 100 years, the Bank of Hyman has been committed to serving our community and serving the future of our families, homes, and businesses. With our new convenient online banking, viewing your account balance and history, transferring money, and paying bills has never been easier or more secure. And with the construction of our new headquarters, we've renewed our promise to Hyman to stand by our customers even in troubling economic times, because we're not just your bank, we're your neighbors. That's the Bank of Hyman. Log on to www.bankofhyman.com or give us a call at 606-785-3158.
Welcome back as Knott County Central puts a 5 spot in the bottom of the 2nd, and that puts Knott County Central up 5-1 as we move to the top of the 3rd, where we will have Chase McNeely will start off for the Cavaliers, batting .300 on the season.
Really good wheels. I've watched the McNeelys. He's got a twin brother. Both of them can absolutely fly.
You've said that before on the football.
Yeah, good wheels.
Yep.
For the Cavaliers, second baseman, number 20, Chase McNeely.
see if Ambergy can start off. Been a long second inning as he comes with the first pitch strike.
Ambergy got a really nice, easy delivery out there.
Trying to keep his body and everything in stride.
Good curveball.
Ooh, and that was on that inner half, and that will run it to 0-2. I think you'll see a fastball right here.
Right in the eyes.
Yep.
Nope, he threw it like a breaking ball again, or maybe a change. I couldn't tell.
Let's see, mistake number 4,532 for me in my lifetime. So here we go, 1-2.
McNeely really up on the plate right here. Good fastball.
And it's back up through the middle, and that's going to be a base hit for McNeely. Nice job of hitting it right back through the box. Kind of topped it right through there, and that will bring up the top of the order, and that will bring up
left fielder, number 14,
Sammy Whitaker, who struck out on called strikes in the first inning.
Yeah, look for McNeely to get the green light early over there on first. Anxious to see how his lead is with this left-handed pitcher.
Got to be careful now. And Ambergy goes over there.
And that wasn't Ambergy's best move right there.
No.
You know, a lot of times the left-handed pitcher will throw a deep move first, just a little sliding over.
Yeah.
Get him comfortable, then come back with a good move.
And sped it up that time, and that's called strike.
Yeah, nice pitch.
No, I can't say on air what I always used to say about left-handed pitchers, especially when I was on first. Especially my good buddy Jim Creech from Wolf County. And that's going to be strike two. Throw goes through, and it's going to be a stolen base for McNeely.
Yeah, McNeely got a good jump on it right there, and, good wheels. So now runner in scoring position.
That's exactly right. And Whitaker got to do something like Hall did in the last inning, got to, hit that thing to the opposite field. Even if it doesn't go through, you get your runner over to third. And that's going to be a wild pitch, and that will take care of the runner going to third. And just trying to overthrow that fastball that time.
And his delivery was even different on that.
Yeah. And I kind of said, you kind of said about the motion, when you speed up your motion sometimes that happens. Go from the windup now, 1-2. And that's going to be a strikeout on the swing. Be the first out of the inning. And that will bring up Kel Owens, who was hit by the curveball in the first inning and then stole a base. Kind of refreshing to see him coming up there with no batting gloves. You knew exactly what I was
say the same thing. No batting gloves, just a little dirt on his hands, and that's going to be strike one as he. I don't know if they had a safety squeeze on right there.
I'm not sure.
It wasn't a straight squeeze.
But it made Kraft at third come in on the fake attempt, and here was the same thing. Let's see, and it is going to be a bunt. He went after it, caught a piece of the catcher.
Yeah.
And Hall is kind of laughing it off now. And that will make it 0-2 with one out. And Jenkins got to get this run in here.
On that safety squeeze, the runner on third just waiting to see if the ball's down before they advance with good wheels with McNeely over there.
Here comes the pitch.
Good pitch.
And it's going to be
a little outside.
And Knott County fans thought that one was strike three. But it's going to be 1-2. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be hit deep.
Yeah, that's going to hit over top of the center fielder. No, he makes a nice play on it, but the runner's going to tag and score easily from third.
And that's going to be a nice job of hitting that time by Owens as he will get the sacrifice fly. And that will bring in the run, making it 5-2, Knott County Central. So nice job of McNeely with a base hit, the steal, and then Owens getting on top of it and that high ball and getting it out to outfield. I thought it was hit a little bit better than that, Jim.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, and Johnson hits it to second, and that's going to be the third out of the inning as Jenkins will score one run, making it 5-2. And when we come back, it'll be the bottom of the third for Knott County Central. So stay with us here on Hometown 24.
Great communities attract talented people to live, work, and raise their families. We're committed to delivering future-proof broadband so our friends, families, and neighbors can live rich lives in smart rural communities across America. Your community is our community. We're your rural broadband partners. You do great things. We make great things possible.
For over 25 years, we fought for Kentuckians injured through no fault of their own. During that time, we've traveled all across the country to take that fight to some of the biggest insurance carriers and corporations in the world. That kind of dedication is what's needed to get every dollar you deserve. If you've been injured in a motor vehicle collision caused by someone else's fault, call Bates & Slum right now and let us fight for you. The first consultation is free, and the attorney you see that first day will be the same attorney you see from the beginning of your case to the end. That's our promise to you at Bates & Slum.
Welcome back to Hometown 24, the Klutz Auto Game of the Week. Knott County Central coming to bat in the bottom of the third. Jenkins picks up a run in the top of the third, making it 5-2.
You know, already from last year, Jenkins is a much improved ball team, Manus. Thank you. Making some routine plays in the field, well, even better.
Change.
And, you know, coming up at bat, you know, doing some good things at the plate. Very impressed.
Well, and you know, when you have one out and a runner in third, you've got to get them home, and they were able to do that. And Owens getting that ball. Boy, that Dr. Pepper must be good.
Oh, it is good.
All the way from Texas. You know, there's different. If you go out west, the Dr. Pepper tastes a little bit different than it does in the east.
Well, I'm really, I like the east one.
You like them no matter where they come from.
I've not had too many that I didn't like.
Knott County Central will start off with Carson Sims, who led off the second inning and got it started. There was E4, and he got started. He scored the first run of the second inning, which Knott County Central scored 5 in that particular inning, and we'll see if Carson can get it going again for Knott County Central and Coach Dameron. Right with a pitch, and it's hit straight back by Sims.
You know, this is the second time through the order now, and Patriots have all had a chance to see the pitcher, so look for them to be a little bit more in tune at the plate this time around.
Here comes the 0-1, and it's curveball tapped in front and foul.
You know, his curveball, it doesn't break a whole lot, but the difference in speed
and that means
really getting everybody out on their front foot.
Right, that means a lot. 0-2, first batter of the third inning. And it's going to be hit, and that's a base hit. Sylvia will go for 2.
Left fielder does a great job rounding it off.
And he's going to slide in with the double. So Sims with the opening double down the left field line. And that will bring up Mason Barnett, who grounded out to Owens on the 6-3 in the second inning. Let's see what Sims, who had stolen base in the second inning, and the pitcher did not cause him to stop, and he went on, and he's going to steal third. Got to freeze that runner at second. You got to look back to him.
Yeah, and you know, when he showed bunt, the third baseman charge, vacating third base to make it an easy
bag.
Yeah.
Right comes to a set. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be hit deep to right field. Right fielder comes in, makes the catch, throws it to come home, and that's going to score the run with a sacrifice for Barnett as he does his job by hitting the ball the opposite field and picking up an RBI as Barnett. That's going to be the first out of the inning, making it 6-2 Knott County Central.
Corey Levingood.
And Corey had a base hit to left center.
Yeah, he had a little bleeder over the shortstop's head.
Yep, and also scored a run in that second inning. So you've got one out.
Yeah, right starting off with the curveball that time, missed up and in.
Right, electing to pitch out of the stretch. And, you know, that sometimes happens when you're a right-hander and you're facing off against the opposing team's left-hander because your foot doesn't come into the same spot on your landing, and it's a little bit easier sometimes to come from the stretch, but now he's going from the wind-up, and that's going to be away. And
yeah, he's starting, if you look, his arm slot's changing a little bit too, Manus. I don't know if he's getting a little tired. You know, you saying this is his first start of the year.
And I'm not keeping up with a total pitch count, but I would imagine if it's his first pitching unless, I mean, he may have thrown some JV games or whatnot. I don't really know, but
you see right now he's starting to drop his elbow a little bit and goes 4 straight balls right there for the walk.
The Patriots.
And that will bring up Mason Rachel, who reached on an error and scored in the second inning. Livingood taking a good lead, and he's off. And the pitch is up, and the throw goes down, and he's going to be in for the stolen base.
Yeah, great jump by Livingood over there. Once again, the pitcher not checking the runner, and I see the first baseman, Dakota Johnson, coming over, and you know, the senior talking to him. Hey, listen, you got to do a little bit. Just give him a look.
You got to look over here, step off, or do something, you know, simple. So that will put Livingood into scoring position with 1 out.
Third baseman playing way up right here for the.
And it's fouled straight
Cavaliers.
back by Rachel, 1-1. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. Comes set, and here comes the pitch, and it's going to be down, and that's going to be 2-1. We are in the bottom of the third. Right comes set, here comes the pitch, and it's going to be up.
Yeah, that was, once again, he tried to throw that curveball.
I think he's trying to feel it instead of just letting it go sometimes. 3-1 pitch, 1 out. And it's going to be ball 4, runners going on the pitch, and he's going to get in there, Livingood.
And once again, third baseman coming up, you know, he wasn't even around the bag on the time of the throw.
Second baseman, number 15, Colton Riley.
Riley will be coming up for the Patriots. Colton Riley walked and scored in the second. So we have first and third, 1 out for Riley. Rachel off on the pitch, and it will be a stolen base. And it was ball, 1-0.
You know, he's only in the third inning, but I'd say he's probably up around 50, 55 pitches at this point, maybe a little bit more.
Yep. I'll try to count them in between innings. And it's back up through the middle. McNeely will bobble it. It comes up to throw, and it's going to be safe, and that's going to be an E4. Going to give him an RBI. And the Patriots will advance to 7-2. Rachel will go on to third.
Tate Governor Kraft.
And Tate Kraft, who had the sacrifice fly and RBI in the second. And the runner will take off. And no throw as Riley will move on down to second. And that puts 2 runners in scoring position for Tate Kraft.
With 1 out now, you just want to try to hit something on the ground at the right side.
And a lot of space over there between McNeely and Johnson. And that's going to be a called strike, and that'll be 1-1. You know, looking at Kraft, he's kind of out in front. I don't know if he can hit that thing to the right side. He might prove me otherwise. But kind of opens up a little bit on the pitch. Here comes the pitch from right, and it's going to be down 2-1.
Yeah, trying to watch, when you watch a batter, you look at what's the trigger. Where do they get their weight going? What's that front shoulder and front hip do?
Here comes the 2-1 pitch, 1 out. And that's going to be a called strike 2. Kraft got to protect the plate now, and Wright wants to try to get that second out here and try to keep those 2 runners from Knott County Central from scoring here in the bottom of the third. Wright with a 2-2. And he's going to do exactly that as Kraft will go down on the swinging strike, and that'll be 2 down.
Shortstop, number 13, Connor Napier.
And Connor Napier will come up. He has flown out to center and walked. Scored a run in the second inning. 2 big runs out there for Knott County Central.
Yeah, Napier's 3rd time through. Anxious to see how he does at the plate. A good hitter.
And there'll be time.
They call.
And it was a balk.
Wow.
And that will score Rachel and advance Riley to third. I was looking. I was not looking.
I wasn't either, man.
I was looking at Napier and how he was getting into the box. So that's going to score a run. 3 runs here in the bottom of the third for Knott County Central, making it 8-2. Here comes the pitch to Napier, and it is down.
We talked about the big backstop back here and how important it is for the catcher to block it up. Every time there's a runner on third base, and you get a curveball in the dirt or something, you've got to be so focused in on keeping it in front of you.
And that's going to be a ball.
Anxious to see if he's going to take here. Has he got a green light?
I got a feeling that it's all green coming from the third base coach's box. Here comes the 2-0, and it's going to be up. Now the question is, if you gave him the hit on 2-0, do you give him the hit on 3-0? And my answer to that would be, yes. And you just say it's got to be in the zone for you. Here comes the pitch, and it is fouled down the right side. And there's a billy goat looking to grab that one.
Yeah, it's
anybody that goes gets that ball, including Aiden, they may give you a lot of money if you go get that ball.
I think I just buy a new one.
Yeah,
that's rough territory.
3-1, and it's going to be up, and that's going to be ball 4, and that will put Napier on first with his second walk of the night. That will bring up Braden Hall, who has grounded out to second and had that fisted base hit in between the 3-4 hole in the second inning. Let's see if he can do similar to that here.
You see Napier will probably be off on the pitch right here at first base.
And he is. And there the ball is up as Napier will get the catcher's indifference.
Yeah.
And once again, I am not the official scorekeeper. So 2 ducks on the pond for Braden Hall, trying to knock those in. Throw's going to go over to third. Wright's got to work on the batter here and get that third out for the Cavaliers.
You got 2 outs. You ain't worry about that.
And it's going to be inside. The umpire knocked it away, or it would have went to the backstop probably.
And this is a point, a lot of times your fielders get a little lackadaisical as you look around at the Cavaliers. You got to make sure, hey, you're down on the pitch. You're ready to go.
Don't grow roots, as I like to say. And there's that ball I was talking about. Nice job by McNeely up with a throw, and that will be the third out of the inning. And with that, Knott County Central scores 3, and that will make it 8-2 as we go to the top of the 4th. So stay with us here at Knott County Central High School in Hometown 24.
TVS Cable has everything you need to stay entertained. Video services with all your favorite channels and local sports on Hometown 24. Ask about digital voice service for home and business. High-speed internet so you never fall behind in a game. There's something for all ages. We've got you covered. Sit back and enjoy everything TVS has to offer. Stay connected with TVS.
My name is Emily, and I'm from Laurel County. When I was searching for a college, I wanted to find a place that felt like home and where I could make a difference. The moment I stepped on Alice Lloyd's campus, I knew this was where I belonged. There's a sense of community here and a focus on serving others that you can't find at other colleges. For me, it wasn't just about continuing education. It was about being a part of something bigger. Apply now to find your home at alc.edu.
Welcome back to Knott County Central after scoring 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd. Knott County Central leads the Jenkins Cavaliers 8-2, and that will bring up for Jenkins Hunter White, followed by Roger Niles and Chris Anderson. 4, 5, and 6 for Jenkins. Another long inning for Jaden Amberg. He's sitting over there, and let's see how he comes out in this 4th inning.
Yeah, Jaden's did a good job today. He stayed around the plate most of the time. I think he's only walked 1 batter besides a hit batsman in the 1st inning.
So right here, he's got to get that 1, 2, 3 and get back in there. And Jenkins, they've got to get something started. Hunter White struck out in the 1st inning. Hamburgie with a white. And it's going to hit him.
That's his 2nd hit batsman, but that one was just stuck in his hand.
And the thing about that is,
Cavaliers, center fielder, number 99.
White skipping the rope there, and if you're going to get hit sometimes.
That's where I want to get it, though. If it's the bottom of the shoe, not the top of the foot.
Or the instep. Oh, that's and here is Niles, and he squares the bunt, and it's going to be up for ball 1. Niles walked, and then there was Ambergy tried to pick him off and threw it away, and then they balked him in to score the first run for the Cavaliers. 2-0 on Niles. Sometimes as a pitcher, you just got to take a deep breath and relax. And I know that's cliche-ic, but that's as Niles goes, and there goes the runner looking back. Thought it might have been a hit and run.
He got him.
And it's going to be a 2-6 put out on the White, and that'll be the first out.
2-4 on the out.
So nice throw down by Hall. And White was looking back like he was expecting Niles to either bunt it or or swing at the pitch.
Maybe a little crossed up.
So 3-1 on with one out for Ambergy. And that's going to be ball 4, and that's a big throw now down to second. Niles will pick up his second walk of the game, and Chris Anderson, who, and that's a timeout, as Coach Damron sees kind of what we see, and he just got to relax.
And that's exactly what he's telling him right now. He said, you're just holding on to the ball a little bit. And that's when you come over and you sit in the dugout for a long inning, you come back at it. It's almost like starting the game again. Instead of a pitcher's, sometimes they get better as the game goes on when the game moves fluidly, but when it's long innings, it's kind of hard
disjointed.
to read. Yes.
Oh, yeah. And Anderson went down to the third base coach for Jenkins, and there'll be one out. Let's see what Niles does over there, and it's going to be he got hit on the forearm again, and that's going to send Niles down to second, and that will be the second hit batsman in the top of the fourth, and then that will bring up Church, who struck out in the second inning, and we have a pinch runner. That will be, let's see, that will be.
Well, I don't see numbers.
I don't see numbers, but we have the lineup. You have the lineup there on your phone?
Hold on, but I think it was just starters.
It's number 8.
No, number 8 is Hunter Anderson.
So Hunter Anderson for Chris Anderson. And I'm not sure if that was a pinch runner. I'm pretty sure it is.
Well, yeah, it has to be at that point, doesn't it?
Yep. So runners at first and second, one out. And let's see what Church does and what the Cavaliers do. Ambergy comes set, and that's going to be Ambergy did not step off.
Yeah, I don't know what that.
And the official said he did step off.
I don't think he did.
I didn't think so, but once again. And the second base official said no, and they said that is a balk.
So the runner had third. A little confusion there.
In other words,
I don't understand how you could change it on the.
I think that the home plate umpire asked the official at its second if he stepped off, and he said he did not step off. So therefore, it would be a balk, and that's going to be the second balk called on Jaden in the game. And that will put runners at second and third with one down. And Niles caused most of that. He broke really early as Ambergy was in the stretch. So now Ambergy's going to go from the windup against Church.
And Ambergy really needs to get a little composure right here after that and come in, just focus on the catcher. Nice pitch to start it back off.
And that's the way you do it right there. So one strike. Knott Central playing even on the corners and playing the run up the middle. Here comes the windup, and that's going to be a called strike 2.
Yeah, I really like how Ambergy kind of bounced back from that and came in and 2 straight strikes.
As my old high school coach, Danny Taylor, always said, to bowl you back and throw. And that's what he's done. And nice job of Church fighting off that inside fastball. Count remains at 0-2. 2 big runs here for Jenkins if Church can get them to cross. Choking up on the bat to make contact. See if he goes with any breaking stuff here, and does not. And once again, Church does a nice job of fighting it off.
I think still straight fastball right here.
And here we go. Wind the pitch. And it's going to get away from the catcher, and that's going to score Niles from third with the third run, and Anderson will advance to third as well. Thought the catcher got a glove on it.
Wild pitch.
But they're going to call it a wild pitch. And now Church once again fighting in there, and it's going to be Ambergy with a strikeout, and that's going to be the second out of the inning, and we'll bring up Preston Hammonds. 8 strikeouts so far on the night for Jaden Ambergy.
Only giving up 1 hit.
And that's going to be called strike 1. Yep, picked up 1 hit, and that was McNeely that picked up that hit in the third inning. Here comes the pitch, and they go after, trying to throw back.
Yep, he got it.
And that's going to be
I was
a
just
throw
getting
out.
ready to say, look out for that catcher to snap throw 1 down, and
Still in 2-5. Score the out.
And that's going to be the third out. 1 run in for Jenkins, and that will make it 8-3. And we will go to the bottom of the 4th. So stay with us here on Hometown 24.
Come right to the source and get the region's best basketball coverage. HT24 puts you right in the middle of the action, and it's free to watch on Facebook. Watch the state's most exciting basketball right here with HT24.
For over 100 years, the Bank of Hyman has been committed to serving our community and serving the future of our families, homes, and businesses. With our new convenient online banking, viewing your account balance and history, transferring money, and paying bills has never been easier or more secure. And with the construction of our new headquarters, we've renewed our promise to Hyman to stand by our customers even in troubling economic times, because we're not just your bank, we're your neighbors. That's the Bank of Hyman. Log on to www.bankofhyman.com or give us a call at 606-785-3158.
Welcome back to Gary Hammond's Field on the campus of Knott County Central High School, as the Cavaliers are able to put 1 run on the board in the top of the 4th, and it'd be 8-3. And Malik Wright comes back out for Jenkins, and he will face Jaden Ambergy to lead off to the bottom of the 4th.
you know, Ambergy hitting the ball at a pretty good pace, 341, but you have to get on base today. You know, he's hit to shortstop and to second base both times.
So we'll see if he can get off the snide, as they call it.
For the Patriots, the pitcher, number 14, Jaden Ambergy.
You know, Wright struggled a little bit with his control last inning as well, so he can get back and.
And it's straight back. I was trying to put my hands up there to make the catch.
Well,
but,
I wanted to see you make a. You know, I know
if
that
I can make that catch,
well,
I'll be back in the major. Well,
yeah, I think you were was a Golden Glover in the Elk Creek League.
I was a Golden Glover. Good field, no hit. And that's going to be a wild pitch out there. That's 1-1.
Just a bit outside.
My coach, Bill Melton over at Alice Lloyd, would say Blair can do that. So here we go, 1-1. And it's straight back again, 1-2 is Ambergy with loose hands.
You know, last year Ambergy was a real opposite field hitter.
That's,
you know,
he brought his hands in.
And I watched him. You know, he had like almost an inside-out swing, and hit the ball well to opposite field last year.
And of course, he's not using batting gloves either. And I skipped the rope there, and it's going to be 2-2. Ambergy trying to get something started here for the Patriots. Once again, if you haven't heard, the district baseball will be played at Letcher County Central for the 53rd District. Get an opportunity to come watch these two teams in the 53rd District, please do so. And that's grounded. And the bench over here at Knott County Central gets on their first base coach. Somebody said charge it. They can say that while they're 120 feet away.
In the safe confines of the peanut gallery.
Yeah. That might not be true when they're running foul pole to foul pole tonight after the game. So here we go. Ambergy 2-2. Money pitch here for Malik Wright. Steps back. Here comes the pitch. And it's going to be a curve that didn't bite, and that's going to run it full. Jenkins got to be ready here in the infield. Here comes the pitch, and it's popped up. And is it going to go out of play? It does. And if you didn't hear that thud, that's meant it was out of play. Uh-oh. Somebody's car back here.
And the people at Farm Bureau are happy again.
Yep. So Wright and Ambergy will go at it again, 3-2 here. Here comes the pitch, and it's outside, and Ambergy will walk down to first.
Right fielder, number 21, Carson Sims.
We'll bring up Carson Sims.
Yeah, he doubled the last time up.
Yes, he did. He doubled down the left field line and also reached in the second, scored 2 runs.
I see somebody warming up over in the Jenkins bullpen area.
And I said I was going to count the number of pitches, and I did not. So we'll see if they put Ambergy in motion here on the first pitch. Ambergy takes off. Nice break. And it's going to be up, and that's ball 1. We'll put Ambergy in scoring position. You know, people do not keep score books anymore in the dugout.
You know, I thought that was so funny last year when I was stepped in as interim coach at Letcher Central. I said, who's doing the books? Where's the books at? So that tells you how long ago it's been since I've been in there.
And the ball is down, and that's going to be 2-0. Yeah, the old technology, and you can sit at your house and watch the game changer on your phone or on your computer while you're doing all that. So. And Ambergy takes off.
And he's up easy right here.
So he's going to pick up a second stolen base, and that will run the count to 3-0 on Sims. And he's looking down to Coach Dameron saying, can I swing? And let's see if Coach Dameron's going to give him the green light or not.
Yeah, I'm thinking at this point I take and get base runners right here.
And Wright will go from the stretch. And that's going to be ball 4. And I think that may be the night
For the Patriots, center fielder,
for
number 8,
Wright.
Brick Burnett.
And let's see if they're going to make a change or not.
You know, if they confer, and I haven't looked at their schedule. Have you got Jenkins' schedule
I
from this
do
past?
have Jenkins' schedule somewhere in this mess of mine. Tomorrow they will play at Cornerstone Christian Academy. And that's the only game they've got this week. They
so
have
really,
not,
it shouldn't be a pitcher. They should, have Johnson and Owen both available to pitch if they want to.
Yeah. So, and of course, they're going to be playing a second game, and
they're going to leave him on the mound.
And Wright's going to stay, and they are going to play a second game.
That's true.
Of course, now we will not be doing that game. We'll only be doing the first game tonight.
Yeah, Barnett hit that long fly ball last time up.
So we'll see if
and you'll see a runner go into motion
is
right
going to
here.
go. Let's see if they throw back behind him, but they're not going to. Runner takes off. And that's going to be strike one on Barnett. Barnett grounded out to short and flew out to
center
right.
field. Center field.
Yep. And he's got 2 RBIs on the night, and he's out in front of that one.
Yeah, curveball on his hands.
Yep.
And he turned on it.
0-2, and Chris Sloan talking about me not talking about the Reds. I sure as heck won't talk about the Cubs. He's a big Cubs fan, but you can talk about the Cubs.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. The Cubs have the Dodgers' second game of the series today. Won last night in extra innings.
And that ball's going to be out, and that's going to be 1-2. From our vantage point, we're kind of looking straight down the first base line, so we can't tell anything on the height or anything of the strikes. And there's going to be hit down the right field line. That's going to go foul.
Over past the Cavaliers bullpen.
I'm kind of waiting. I really can see what kind of hands Aiden has over there.
Aiden didn't seem to be very excited about fielding flat foul balls.
I would not either. And the runner is going, and he's going to steal home Ambergy, and that will advance Sims down to third. Ambergy on the wine was going home. And that will score a run and make it 9-3, Knott County Central here in the bottom of the fourth.
Now you see the pitcher going out of the stretch with the runner on third here. Try to keep that from happening again.
Comes in, the runner's going to come in.
Nice
play by Owens. He comes up, but he will throw it away. Nice play. Able to successfully throw him out at first, and Sims will score.
And that'll be an E6 on the throw in there. And, he, like I said, he broke for the ball, covered some ground, made a nice pickup, but instead of setting his feet, he tried to throw off balance and pulled the first baseman off the bag and ended up sailing into the fence.
And that will enable Barnett to pick up his third RBI. And that will make it 10-3 Knott County Central. Corey Livingood is up, and he has walked and singled, scored 2 runs for the Patriots. Runner takes off. Throw goes through, and he's going to be safe, is Barnett, and that will be his first stolen base on the evening. So another Patriot in scoring position. Comes the pitch, and it's going to be up.
Pitch count's got to be getting pretty high right now for right.
Yep, definitely. Here comes the stretch and the pitch, and it's going to be down, and that's going to be 2-0. Excuse me, 3-0. Thank you to all of our sponsors, which enables us to do Hometown 24 softball and baseball. And that's going to be high, and that's going to be ball 4, and that will send Livingood down with his second walk.
Let's see if he, with no outs, bunched, advanced the runners to second and third. I'll probably take the first one till I get a strike and then try to lay one down here, Manus.
Yep. And Rachel, who is walked and reached on a scored 2 runs for Knott County Central. And there's a nice job of hitting. Hits it in between the 3 and 4. And Barnett will come home. The throw is going to come in as that will make it 11-3. And Livingood will advance to third on the base hit by Rachel and the
nice
RBI.
Piece of hitting right there.
I guess you call that handsy.
Yeah.
Nice job of taking and getting it out there, and there's going to be a timeout called by Coach Newsom. And Colton Riley will come up where he has walked and reached on has scored 1 run, and they're going to make a pitching change. And while they're making that pitching change, we're going to take a break, and we'll see who's going to come in for Jenkins, and stay with us. We're going to be right back.
This is the 4th app. I don't remember any of these passwords.
With so many subscriptions, it can be impossible to keep up.
Who said that?
Don't worry about who I am. Worry about all the money you're losing paying for all these subscriptions.
I have to use like 13 to watch all the shows I want to watch.
Then sign up for TVS. With TVS, you have all your favorite shows with just one bill. So stop throwing away money and throw away those subscriptions.
Magellan, what should we do with all this money we save by switching to TVS?
A lot has changed in 100 years. We've gone from the Model T to the electric car, from silent film to home theaters, and from the telegram to the iPhone. And through it all, People's Bank and Trust of Hazard has been there for local people. From paper checks to debit cards, from wire transfers to online banking, People's Bank has maintained a tradition of service while embracing the future for your financial needs. Celebrating a century of service to the mountains. People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
TVS has made a commitment to bringing you the best channel lineups and most diverse video packages available. We are proud to introduce Broadband TV, our newest and most affordable video package yet. 48 of the most watched channels we offer, some new channels only available with this package, and over 300 of the best free ad-supported channels available, all for only $29.95.
And welcome back, and it will be Cale Owens, which will go to the mound for Wright. As he comes in, there will be runners on first and second, and 3 runs in for Knott County Central. Made a boo-boo a minute ago. I said we were not doing the second game. We are doing the second game tonight. And Friday night, we will be going down on the river to Jackson, Kentucky, and we'll be doing the Breathitt County Bobcats hosting the Leslie County Eagles. So tune in Friday night as we will be doing that game from Breathitt County High School.
Yeah, and a chance to go watch one of the better players in the region, Rylan Simpson, Leslie County. Really a nice, solid hitter at the plate and a good fielder.
And, you know, Breathitt County lost a lot last year, but I'm sure they're it just takes a while, and just like in any sport, it just takes a while for you to be able to get into kind of a sync.
Yeah, playing a lot of young players this year. I talked to their assistant coach, Patrick Wooten, during the regional tournament, and he said that, they were going to be really young this year.
Cale Owens, who just came in, is 1-2 on the season with a 4.42 ERA for the Jenkins Cavaliers.
He's got a real odd delivery, Manus. Throws the ball with decent velocity, but just a little unorthodox with his follow through.
So we're about ready to go, and nobody out. We have
runners on the corners right here.
Corners, third and first. Livingood on third and Rachel on first. Riley, as I said, has walked and reached on an error, and it's going to be up, and Rachel will move on down to second base.
So both runners in scoring position for the Patriots with Riley at the plate.
And if they plate these two right here, it will be a 10-run difference. And Livingood is on the pitch, will score, and Rachel will advance to third.
Wild pitch.
And that was a wild pitch on Owens.
Yeah, Owens, we've talked about him in basketball season. Good athlete, great defender.
And almost picked off over there was Rachel as he was leaning. To an old count. Nobody down, and that ball is
going to be well fouled.
Watch out, cars. And
they got one.
I heard we've already gotten one windshield tonight. We don't need two.
No, that's the reason we decided to park down low and let the AD, Justin Ambergy, escort us to the top.
And we do appreciate it, Justin Ambergy. It's hard on old people to walk up that hill sometimes.
Speak for yourself, Blair.
And here comes the pitch, and it's going to be ball 3, 3-1. As you can feel the evening air trying to make its way in. And
yeah, starting to get a little bit cool.
Might have to do a little run. And he is picked off, and the throw's going to go home. And Rachel trying to advance back as there's back, and he's going to get back in safe.
But if you're Jenkins, not a bad play there at all.
That's where he started. And
that's right. No harm done, and much better than throwing the ball around.
And you saw Dakota Johnson and Owens coming sprinting down as
make sure home plate wasn't left
right.
unoccupied.
Church ran him all the way back, and then they were in position to back up any kind of throw. So nice job of them. And that's going to be a ball, and that will advance Riley down to first with a walk. And that will bring up Tate Kraft, who is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice and an RBI. And the runner from first takes off. Curveball doesn't bite. That's going to be a ball. 4 runs in so far for Knott County Central. 12-3, bottom of the 4th. Comes the pitch, and it's going to be a called strike. 1-1. Owens trying to get out of this inning for Jenkins. Here comes the pitch.
It sounded like he didn't want a helmet.
Something sounded different.
It's
inside. It's going to be 2-1.
Kraft right up on the plate right here.
Batter's box lines are gone. And it's going to be hit
that's
to right field. And it's going to drop. And that's going to plate 1. And that's going to plate, no, it's not going to plate 2. And a rundown is going to be out. So 1 run's going to come in, and Riley's going to be out at third. And that'll be the first out as Kraft will pick up 1 RBI. And I was already giving him 2, Jim. And nice play is he will move on the throw home. We'll move on down to second.
Patriots shortstop, number 13, Connor Nathan.
So Kraft gets off the snide for the year with his first base hit, varsity play.
Yes, and that will bring up Napier, who has walked twice and flew out to center, trying to pick off Kraft. And not sure what and since they're playing 2 5-inning games, they're going to call a mercy rule on this. I believe if I understood that correctly. So that is going to end this game at 13-3. And I'm not sure how long it's going to take to get ready for the second game. Once we get the lineups and everything, I think we'll be ready to go. So in a few minutes. Stick with us, and we'll have the second 5-inning game between Knott County Central and Jenkins. So stick with us here on Hometown 24. Klutz Auto second game coming up.
My name is Isabella, and I am from Madison County, Kentucky. Instead of choosing a larger university, I chose to attend Alice Lloyd College because I wanted a more personal college experience. The small class sizes provide a close relationship between students and professor that isn't possible at any other university. ALC is more than a place to learn, it is a place to grow, serve, and lead. Learn more at alc.edu.
Come right to the source and get the region's best basketball coverage. HT24 puts you right in the middle of the action, and it's free to watch on Facebook. Watch the state's most exciting basketball right here with HT24.
We have determined that you have early onset Alzheimer's disease.
Why me? How could I have prevented this?
Research shows that reducing stress levels, not partaking in substance abuse, and being aware of safety measures are a few ways to prevent it.
So how quickly can this progress?
There's no definitive timeline. Everyone is different.
For over 100 years, the Bank of Hyman has been committed to serving our community and serving the future of our families, homes, and businesses. With our new convenient online banking, viewing your account balance and history, transferring money, and paying bills has never been easier or more secure. And with the construction of our new headquarters, we've renewed our promise to Hyman to stand by our customers even in troubling economic times, because we're not just your bank, we're your neighbors. That's the Bank of Hyman. Log on to www.bankofhyman.com or give us a call at 606-785-3158.
Great communities attract talented people to live, work, and raise their families. We're committed to delivering future-proof broadband so our friends, families, and neighbors can live rich lives in smart rural communities across America. Your community is our community. We're your rural broadband partners. You do great things. We make great things possible.
For over 25 years, we fought for Kentuckians injured through no fault of their own. During that time, we've traveled all across the country to take that fight to some of the biggest insurance carriers and corporations in the world. That kind of dedication is what's needed to get every dollar you deserve. If you've been injured in a motor vehicle collision caused by someone else's fault, call Bates & Sloan right now and let us fight for you. The first consultation is free, and the attorney you see that first day will be the same attorney you see from the beginning of your case to the end. That's our promise to you at Bates & Sloan.
TVS Cable has everything you need to stay entertained. Video services with all your favorite channels and local sports on Hometown 24. Ask about digital voice service for home and business. High-speed internet so you never fall behind in a game. There's something for all ages. We've got you covered. Sit back and enjoy everything TVS has to offer. Stay connected with TVS.
My name is Emily, and I'm from Laurel County. When I was searching for a college, I wanted to find a place that felt like home and where I could make a difference. The moment I stepped on Alice Lloyd's campus, I knew this was where I belonged. There's a sense of community here and a focus on serving others that you can't find at other colleges. For me, it wasn't just about continuing education. It was about being a part of something bigger. Apply now to find your home at alc.edu.
Come right to the source and get the region's best basketball coverage. HT24 puts you right in the middle of the action, and it's free to watch on Facebook. Watch the state's most exciting basketball right here with HT24.
For over 100 years, the Bank of Hyman has been committed to serving our community and serving the future of our families, homes, and businesses. With our new convenient online banking, viewing your account balance and history, transferring money, and paying bills has never been easier or more secure. And with the construction of our new headquarters, we've renewed our promise to Hyman to stand by our customers even in troubling economic times, because we're not just your bank, we're your neighbors. That's the Bank of Hyman. Log on to www.bankofhyman.com or give us a call at 606-785-3158.
This is the fourth app. I don't remember any of these passwords.
With so many subscriptions, it can be impossible to keep up.
Who said that?
Don't worry about who I am. Worry about all the money you're losing paying for all these subscriptions.
I have to use like 13 to watch all the shows I want to watch.
Then sign up for TVS. With TVS, you have all your favorite shows with just one bill. So stop throwing away money and throw away those subscriptions.
Magellan, what should we do with all this money we save by switching to TVS?
A lot has changed in 100 years. We've gone from the Model T to the electric car, from silent film to home theaters, and from the telegram to the iPhone. And through it all, People's Bank and Trust of Hazard has been there for local people. From paper checks to debit cards, from wire transfers to online banking, People's Bank has maintained a tradition of service while embracing the future for your financial needs. Celebrating a century of service to the mountains. People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
TVS has made a commitment to bringing you the best channel lineups and most diverse video packages available. We are proud to introduce Broadband TV, our newest and most affordable video package yet. 48 of the most watched channels we offer, some new channels only available with this package, and over 300 of the best free ad-supported channels available, all for only $29.95.
My name is Isabella, and I am from Madison County, Kentucky. Instead of choosing a larger university, I chose to attend Alice Lloyd College because I wanted a more personal college experience. The small class sizes provide a close relationship between students and professor that isn't possible at any other university. ALC is more than a place to learn, it is a place to grow, serve, and lead. Learn more at alc.edu.
Come right to the source and get the region's best basketball coverage. HT24 puts you right in the middle of the action, and it's free to watch on Facebook. Watch the state's most exciting basketball right here with HT24.
We have determined that you have early onset Alzheimer's disease.
Why me? How could I have prevented this?
Research shows that reducing stress levels, not partaking in substance abuse, and being aware of safety measures are a few ways to prevent it.
So how quickly can this progress?
There's no definitive timeline. Everyone is different.
For over 100 years, the Bank of Hyman has been committed to serving our community and serving the future of our families, homes, and businesses. With our new convenient online banking, viewing your account balance and history, transferring money, and paying bills has never been easier or more secure. And with the construction of our new headquarters, we've renewed our promise to Hyman to stand by our customers even in troubling economic times, because we're not just your bank, we're your neighbors. That's the Bank of Hyman. Log on to www.bankofhyman.com or give us a call at 606-785-3158.
Great communities attract talented people to live, work, and raise their families. We're committed to delivering future-proof broadband so our friends, families, and neighbors can live rich lives in smart rural communities across America. Your community is our community. We're your rural broadband partners. You do great things. We make great things possible.
For over 25 years, we fought for Kentuckians injured through no fault of their own. During that time, we've traveled all across the country to take that fight to some of the biggest insurance carriers and corporations in the world. That kind of dedication is what's needed to get every dollar you deserve. If you've been injured in a motor vehicle collision caused by someone else's fault, call Bates & Slum right now and let us fight for you. The first consultation is free, and the attorney you see that first day will be the same attorney you see from the beginning of your case to the end. That's our promise to you at Bates & Slum.
TVS Cable has everything you need to stay entertained. Video services with all your favorite channels and local sports on Hometown 24. Ask about digital voice service for home and business. High-speed internet so you never fall behind in a game. There's something for all ages. We've got you covered. Sit back and enjoy everything TVS has to offer. Stay connected with TVS.
My name is Emily, and I'm from Laurel County. When I was searching for a college, I wanted to find a place that felt like home and where I could make a difference. The moment I stepped on Alice Lloyd's campus, I knew this was where I belonged. There's a sense of community here and a focus on serving others that you can't find at other colleges. For me, it wasn't just about continuing education. It was about being a part of something bigger. Apply now to find your home at alc.edu.
Come right to the source and get the region's best basketball coverage. HT24 puts you right in the middle of the action, and it's free to watch on Facebook. Watch the state's most exciting basketball right here with HT24.
For over 100 years, the Bank of Hyman has been committed to serving our community and serving the future of our families, homes, and businesses. With our new convenient online banking, viewing your account balance and history, transferring money, and paying bills has never been easier or more secure. And with the construction of our new headquarters, we've renewed our promise to Hyman to stand by our customers even in troubling economic times, because we're not just your bank, we're your neighbors. That's the Bank of Hyman. Log on to www.bankofhyman.com or give us a call at 606-785-3158.
This is the fourth app. I don't remember any of these passwords.
With so many subscriptions, it can be impossible to keep up.
Who said that?
Don't worry about who I am. Worry about all the money you're losing paying for all these subscriptions.
I have to use like 13 to watch all the shows I want to watch.
Then sign up for TVS. With TVS, you have all your favorite shows with just one bill. So stop throwing away money and throw away those subscriptions.
Magellan, what should we do with all this money we save by switching to TVS?
A lot has changed in 100 years. We've gone from the Model T to the electric car, from silent film to home theaters, and from the telegram to the iPhone. And through it all, People's Bank and Trust of Hazard has been there for local people. From paper checks to debit cards, from wire transfers to online banking, People's Bank has maintained a tradition of service while embracing the future for your financial needs. Celebrating a century of service to the mountains. People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
TVS has made a commitment to bringing you the best channel lineups and most diverse video packages available. We are proud to introduce Broadband TV, our newest and most affordable video package yet. 48 of the most watched channels we offer, some new channels only available with this package, and over 300 of the best free ad-supported channels available, all for only $29.95.
My name is Isabella, and I am from Madison County, Kentucky. Instead of choosing a larger university, I chose to attend Alice Lloyd College because I wanted a more personal college experience. The small class sizes provide a close relationship between students and professor that isn't possible at any other university. ALC is more than a place to learn, it is a place to grow, serve, and lead. Learn more at alc.edu.
Come right to the source and get the region's best basketball coverage. HT24 puts you right in the middle of the action, and it's free to watch on Facebook. Watch the state's most exciting basketball right here with HT24.
We have determined that you have early onset Alzheimer's disease.
Why me? How could I have prevented this?
Research shows that reducing stress levels, not partaking in substance abuse, and being aware of safety measures are a few ways to prevent it.
So how quickly can this progress?
There's no definitive timeline. Everyone is different.
For over 100 years, the Bank of Hyman has been committed to serving our community and serving the future of our families, homes, and businesses. With our new convenient online banking, viewing your account balance and history, transferring money, and paying bills has never been easier or more secure. And with the construction of our new headquarters, we've renewed our promise to Hyman to stand by our customers even in troubling economic times, because we're not just your bank, we're your neighbors. That's the Bank of Hyman. Log on to www.bankofhyman.com or give us a call at 606-785-3158.
Great communities attract talented people to live, work, and raise their families. We're committed to delivering future-proof broadband so our friends, families, and neighbors can live rich lives in smart rural communities across America. Your community is our community. We're your rural broadband partners. You do great things. We make great things possible.
For over 25 years, we fought for Kentuckians injured through no fault of their own. During that time, we've traveled all across the country to take that fight to some of the biggest insurance carriers and corporations in the world. That kind of dedication is what's needed to get every dollar you deserve. If you've been injured in a motor vehicle collision caused by someone else's fault, call Bates & Slum right now and let us fight for you. The first consultation is free, and the attorney you see that first day will be the same attorney you see from the beginning of your case to the end. That's our promise to you at Bates & Slum.
Welcome back to Knott County Central. As we're getting ready for the second game, failed to mention that our player of the game was Carson Sims for Knott County Central. Scored 3 runs, a stolen base, had a double, and we're looking at different lineups. We got our lineups done. Well, like I said, Friday night we'll be down at Breathitt County High School as Leslie County Eagles will be playing Breathitt County. Weather permitting, of course, and you never know. And we're still in April, and you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, Leslie County, like I said earlier with the Simpson kid, just really a great up-and-coming athlete in several sports. But,
you know what we're talking about, Leslie County, too, they got a new football coach.
Oh, yeah. After, a long time, there won't be a Melton at the helm over there.
It'll be Mr. Brian Hubbard. Will be the football coach at Leslie County, and I'm sure Ryan Farmer is looking forward to great things over there with the Leslie County football. And also Landry Collett signed with Morehead State University. Yeah. A lot of athletes, girls and boys in all our sports are signing, and saw that Parker Watts, who we did some games for over, is signed with Kentucky Christian. And
he's an exciting ball player to watch over there at Martin County.
Yeah, and there's a bunch more I'll try to go through in this game here. We'll go through the lineups real quickly for Knott County Central. Mason Ambergy at second. Connor Napier will be at short. Jaden Ambergy will be in center. Chase Hendrickson will be the catcher. Aiden Cornett at third. Carson Huff in right. Cole Watts at first. Mason Rachel will be the pitcher. 0-0, 7.0 ERA. And here he goes with the first pitch to Sammy Whitaker, and it's going to be strike one. Also, Blake Porter will be in left, and Corey Livingood will be the DH, and that is Knott County Central. Will get Jenkins in a butt, and that's strike number 2 called.
Hendrickson behind the plate really got a strong arm. Yes. It looks very impressive on his throw down.
And that's going to be strike 3, and that's going to be 1 down for Rachel in the first. And failed to mention they were playing 5-inning games, so once Knott Central went up 10 in the bottom of the 4th, that was the mercy rule for Knott County Central. We were unaware of that coming into the game.
So here we are for game 2.
And Cale Owens will be the second batter, and did he go? And looked down, and he did go.
And that's the right call.
And that was a nice call.
Heads up by the catcher.
And, of course, Chase got a good catcher body to him, frames that pitch right there, and that's going to be strike number 2. Aiden Cornett playing even on the bag over here with one down for Knott County Central. And it's hit a slow roller.
It's going to be a tough play by the short. Owens with good speed, but still makes the play.
And so took his time that time to Connor Napier and got it over there in time. 2 down. And that will go with Hunter White.
Hunter White.
Yeah, it's a tough play by Napier. That was a real slow roller. Had to set his feet and put it on the line over there.
In other words, he made it look easy. Foul tip off the catcher's mitt, and that'd be strike 1. And especially when Napier playing deep, and like I said, those balls that hit directly to you, it's hard to manage them sometimes.
Nice curveball by Rachel.
And that's going to be strike number 2.
He's got different from Amberg. He had more of a sharp breaking ball. 12-6 right here. Yep. And there it is again.
And White able to foul that one off. Thank you once again for joining us, me and Jim Bob McCauley here. And David Adams had a little injury, and at the same time we're praying for him and his granddaughter, and that's going to be strike 3, and that's going to end on a 1-2-3 top of the first. And when we'll come back, we'll give you the lineup of Jenkins out in the field. Thank you, and stay with us here on Hometown 24.
TVS Cable has everything you need to stay entertained. Video services with all your favorite channels and local sports on Hometown 24. Ask about digital voice service for home and business. High-speed internet so you never fall behind in a game. There's something for all ages. We've got you covered. Sit back and enjoy everything TVS has to offer. Stay connected with TVS.
My name is Emily, and I'm from Laurel County. When I was searching for a college, I wanted to find a place that felt like home and where I could make a difference. The moment I stepped on Alice Lloyd's campus, I knew this was where I belonged. There's a sense of community here and a focus on serving others that you can't find at other colleges. For me, it wasn't just about continuing education. It was about being a part of something bigger. Apply now to find your home at alc.edu.
Welcome back as the Jenkins Cavaliers went down 1-2-3. Mason Rachel with a nice job. Jenkins out to the field. And thank you, acknowledges. And Dakota Johnson is the pitcher for Jenkins, 0-2 on the season, 17.29 on the ERA. Sammy Whitaker in left field. Cal Owens is short. Hunter White at first. Dakota Johnson is the pitcher, as I just said. Roger Niles in center. Chris Anderson at third. Hunter Anderson at DH. Damon Church at catcher. Chase McNeely at second. And Preston Hammonds in right field. And
you'll see Dakota, he'll primarily throws a curveball. He'll throw the curve 3-1 over a fastball. Usually has good break on it, has a tendency to be a little high with it at times.
That's one of the things about getting over top of that. We were talking about a 12-6. You rarely see a 12-6. It's kind of like they call it a sweeper now, in between a slider and a curveball. And when I threw that in college and high school, people used to laugh at me. And
it's a very effective pitch.
And it's a very effective pitch, and they found that out after a few times. But anyway, Knott County Central, Mason Ambergy will lead off for Knott County Central, batting .411 on the season. And playing Mason Ambergy, it's almost like a shift here a little bit. And Anderson at third is up on the grass area, giving a lot of space down the left field line. And it's gone to second base, bobbled. Nice staying with it.
It's safe and beats it
out. And that's going to be an E4 as Ambergy, who has a lot of speed, as we saw on the football field. this year. Beats the throw after the bobble by McNeely.
McNeely did a great job taking it off his chest and keeping it in front of him, but then he kind of panicked, reaching for the ball and bobbled it a couple times.
And, that ball had top spin on it. So hard as Dakota Johnson spins, and it's going to be behind the batter of Napier as he had stepped forward. I thought Ambergy was off, but
Coach Dameron, I think that Ambergy missed the steal sign there.
Yep, I think so. They got a nice lead over there at first. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be out and away, and that's going to be 2-0.
Now, if I'm the pitcher, this is a great time to pick back over to first this time after not doing it twice.
And the runner's off, and it's going to be foul, and he'll have to go back on the 2-1 now. Jim, I'm looking forward to going to Bristol to watch the Braves and the Reds in August on the Bristol Motor Speedway. I'm interested to see the layout.
Well, I tell you, from what I've heard, if you trip and fall, it's a long roll down because they said it's really straight up and down.
I would imagine, and the runner is off, and it's going to be ball 3, and Ambergy may go all the way, and he's going to attempt all the way into third, and he's going to be safe. So it's going to be 3-1 on the Napier. Napier's yet to get into one yet, and been waiting on that. As the old saying, a lot of people think he may be due to hit one here, and he hits it down the line.
It's foul.
And it's going to be foul ball.
By about 6 inches, it looked like.
And, I'm waiting on laser technology
to start picking those fair and fouls.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be
and it's kind of like in tennis. Tennis, you don't have line judges anymore on most, unless it's clay. So the advancement of robotics and in baseball is forthcoming, and that's going to be ball 4 as Napier will walk and go down to first, making runners at first and third. And that
if they got somebody out of lineup order here.
32, Corey Livingood.
Evidently, Ambergy is not batting, and
he's in the 4-hole. But what we got up here,
not really sure. I am completely out of. I'm thinking that Livingood is DHing for somebody, and we'll see who is on deck, Jim.
Ambergy's on deck. Nope, Ambergy's not on deck.
So he is batting for Ambergy. And that's scooped.
Well, he took that one off the dirt.
Owens goes back. It bobbles and falls. Thought he had it there for a second, and Ambergy will come in to score.
E6.
It's going to be an error.
For the Patriots, the catcher, number 23, Chase Hendrickson.
And Chase Hendrickson will come to bat, batting .354 on the season. And that was going to, Livingood will pick up an RBI, and he's going to shoot one in the center. And he's going to catch it. The throw is going to come in, and it would have doubled him up.
Yeah, so nice play by the center fielder out there on both.
Niles came in and made the right play, and if Owens would have come up with a scoop, that would have been a double play. 1 out, and that will be Aiton Cornett will be up to bat. First and second, 1 out. 1 run in so far for Knott County Central, as Johnson will step back off the rubber. Johnson with the pitch. Runners are off, and that's going to be up ball 1.
Johnson having a hard time getting the snap on that curveball. It's kind of hanging up high on him.
Cornett batting .250 on the season. And that's going to be ball 2, and the runner is trying to come in, and he is going to score. The ball gets away, and can Living Good score, and he scores as well. So that's going to play 2 more, making it 3-0. Cornet with a 2-0 count, I believe.
You know, when it's a catcher, it's tough to handle this curveball to curveball to curveball. The spin's tough, not to mention, you know, a lot of them are in the dirt.
And, you know, when that ball hits the dirt, it goes back. Yep. Opposite. You know, one of the controversies in Major League Baseball is the one-leg stance now. And, you know, leg protectors don't help in that. And that's going to, I don't know if it hit him. No, must not. And it'll be 3-0. But there's controversy that they're wanting that low strike by getting lower rather than throwing out any runners that are trying to steal. And that's going to send Cornet down to first with a walk.
One out right now, runner on first. 3 runs scored so far.
I remember when Johnny Bench came up and became a one-hand catcher, and everybody went crazy until he started throwing everybody out, and then that changed a lot of things. And there comes the pitch, and it's going to get away, and that's going to be...
Yep, he's safe. He was under the tag.
But the ball got there, and a lot of times the ball gets there, it's going to be an out. And that's going to be the second out of the inning for the Patriots. Huff batting 133.
Yeah, Huff got a lot of power, though. You know, I would say baby brother.
He's definitely not a baby.
He's about to outgrow his older brother, Jaden.
If he's tuning in, that's going to be a ball, and that's 1-1.
I think they're playing up in Ohio right now.
I think they are. And the ball gets away from Jenkins there, and Huff's looking up to the sky, and I'm not sure if it was rain or if it was a flight by a bird coming over top.
Well, let's just hope it's rain for his sake.
And don't look up. And Huff trying to take that one downtown.
Yeah, Huff not going to get cheated at the plate with that swing.
That was not a wasted swing. I think if he had buttons on the front, he would have probably unbuttoned
them off.
Every one of them. So 1-2 by Johnson comes in, and he's going to mow him down, and that'll be the third out on the inning. Knott Central scores 3, and that will send us to the top of the second. 3-0 Knott County Central. So stay with us on the Klutz Auto games of the week.
Come right to the source and get the region's best basketball coverage. HT24 puts you right in the middle of the action, and it's free to watch on Facebook. Watch the state's most exciting basketball right here with HT24.
For over 100 years, the Bank of Hyman has been committed to serving our community and serving the future of our families, homes, and businesses. With our new convenient online banking, viewing your account balance and history, transferring money, and paying bills has never been easier or more secure. And with the construction of our new headquarters, we've renewed our promise to Hyman to stand by our customers even in troubling economic times, because we're not just your bank, we're your neighbors. That's the Bank of Hyman. Log on to www.bankofhyman.com or give us a call at 606-785-3158.
Welcome back to the top of the second. You're with Jim McCauley, Manus Blair at Knott County Central High School, Gary Hammond's Field.
Yeah, Rachel retired the first 3 batters with a strikeout, a 6-3 from the shortstop, and another strikeout. So yet to give up a hit here in the top of the second inning.
And, you know, Dakota Johnson will lead off for Jenkins. followed by Roger Niles and Chris Anderson.
Pitcher, number 5, Dakota Johnson.
Really like Jenkins' gray and green scheme on their uniforms.
Good pitch.
Not that I'm an aficionado on uniforms, but I just really like the color scheme. And Rachel's catching the ball, eyeing his target, and throwing strikes.
Nice curveball from Rachel there for the second strike on Johnson.
Had a nice bend to it. And, you know, at night as opposed to day, that makes it a little bit tougher to hit that breaking ball. Picking up, and that's a nice job by Dakota to go down with it. It's going to be 4-3 in the first out as Ambergy made that play.
Yeah, I like it's good hustle by the catcher Henderson, trailing the runner down to first base.
Center fielder, number 99, Roger Niles.
You either have that habit or you have that fundamental in coaching up or you don't. And that's going to be right at Ambergy, and it's going to be the second out in the evening. So line to 4.
You know, Rachel, a great, example of just throwing strikes. Let your defense play behind you. Right now, he's not through a great deal of pitches. Already down 2 outs.
Strike 1, as you mentioned, he's throwing strikes. And, you know, as a batter, Jenkins, you got to just get in there and be ready to hit that.
Especially when he's around the plate all the time. Yeah, Rachel looks very comfortable on the mound.
Very much so.
Nice curveball.
And that's going to be strike 3, and that's going to be 3 down. 1, 2, 3 by Jenkins, and that will send us to the bottom of the second. 3-0 Knott County Central, and stay with us. We'll be right back.
This is the 4th app. I don't remember any of these passwords.
With so many subscriptions, it can be impossible to keep up.
Who said that?
Don't worry about who I am. Worry about all the money you're losing paying for all these subscriptions.
I have to use like 13 to watch all the shows I want to watch.
Then sign up for TVS. With TVS, you have all your favorite shows with just one bill. So stop throwing away money and throw away those subscriptions.
Magellan, what should we do with all this money we save by switching to TVS?
A lot has changed in 100 years. We've gone from the Model T to the electric car, from silent film to home theaters, and from the telegram to the iPhone. And through it all, People's Bank and Trust of Hazard has been there for local people. From paper checks to debit cards, from wire transfers to online banking, People's Bank has maintained a tradition of service while embracing the future for your financial needs. Celebrating a century of service to the mountains. People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
TVS has made a commitment to bringing you the best channel lineups and most diverse video packages available. We are proud to introduce Broadband TV, our newest and most affordable video package yet. 48 of the most watched channels we offer, some new channels only available with this package, and over 300 of the best free ad-supported channels available, all for only $29.95.
Welcome back as we will move into the bottom of the second for Knott County Central. Maybe Cole Watts will be up to bat for Knott County Central, batting 300 on the season.
Patriots, first baseman, number 20, Cole Watts.
3-0 Knott County Central. Quick inning last time by Rachel for Knott County Central. Slow curve and
just a little up. And that, you know, he's traditionally got a really good curveball. I know I've said that a couple of times earlier.
And comes back with a strike called 1-1. It's okay to reiterate things. There's nothing wrong with that. That's part of teaching is reiteration.
Yeah.
And he's going to be hit with the pitch, and that will send him down to first. And that will bring up Mason Rachel. And Rachel in the first game was 1 of 2 and scored 3 runs.
Yeah, he reached base all 3 times he came to the plate.
Yeah, it was in consideration for the player of the game, and I'm not sure what just happened.
He just balked. I don't know if he thought the catcher wasn't ready, or I don't know if the umpire.
I'm not sure if I was ready. I don't know if he thought play had been called. And it's hit straight up, and it's going to go not much. The ball was right there, I thought.
Yeah, he just lost it in the lights.
A 1, runner on second. Cole Watts at second. Here comes the pitch.
The pitch.
And it's another one, strike 2. Johnson trying to find his way around the mound there. Pitching from the stretch. Rachel gets his bat down
on his curveball.
It's one of the first things you're taught in Little League is get that bat down. Here comes the 1-2, and it's hit up in the air. Call by second baseman, and he will take it. McNeely takes it on the short side of second, and that will be the first out for Jenkins.
For the Patriots, left fielder, number 5, Blake Porter.
Blake Porter will be up and batting 400.
Yep. No.
Blake, a good-looking kid at the plate.
And misses it. Watts will advance on the pass ball. Porter trying to knock in that run. Knott Central up 3-0. And ball away. 1-1.
You know, Johnson doesn't have a bad fastball when he throws it.
I don't know. He just don't have confidence in it. But Porter in the gap. Owens will come up with it with a long throw.
Wow, nice.
Not.
I guess he pulled
And
off.
He pulled off. So.
Yeah, the ball was there in time, but the first baseman must have pulled off the bag.
And that will be an RBI for Porter. And that will make it 4-0, Knott County Central.
Second baseman, number 19, Mason Ambergy.
Did you give him a base hit on that?
The official scorekeeper gave it a base hit, so I'm going to go ahead and go with the official scorekeeper.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
And now, if I was in Major League Baseball, I would have been calling that probably an error. And Porter's off, and the pitch is up. Mason Ambergy reached on an error in the first inning and scored. And ball 2. You know, one of my favorite people to listen to in baseball growing up was Bob Uecker. And, of course, Bob Uecker passed away at the age of 90. One of my favorites.
Such an ambassador for the game.
And it's going to be ball 3. Porter takes off. Throw's going to go in the tag, and he's going to be under the tag, and he's going to be safe.
You know, Uecker had an incredible sense of humor, and usually he was the butt of his own jokes, which made it even more entertaining.
Yeah, and, you know, there was a lot of characters in the Central Division that I grew up watching and listening to. And that's going to be away, and that's going to be ball 4. And Ambergy will make his way down. And that includes, see, a guy in Chicago. What was his name?
Shortstop, number 13.
Curry.
You know, when we got WGN as a young kid, that changed my life.
Changed a lot of people when we got cable in eastern Kentucky.
Changed to be able to grow up with some of those great, well, I won't say great, but good good Cubs teams.
And on the throw to third, Ambergy takes off and gets to second. 1984 Cubs, Ryan Sandberg and Andre, what was that guy's name in right field?
The Hawk.
The Hawk. And it's called strike on Connor Napier.
Yeah, probably the 89 Cubs team was probably one of my favorite early teams to watch.
And that was going to be ball 1-1, one out. Runners at second and third, 4-0 here in the bottom of the second. When you think about teams in the Central Division this year, Cubs looks like the team right now that everybody's going to be vying for to try to get into. And, it may be only one spot in the division unless somebody gets a hot streak, because everybody's around 500 or less right now. Who knows? And that ball is down, and that's going to be 3-1.
Well, with the injury to Steele, I'm a little concerned about the rotation of the Cubs down the stretch. Their bullpen has been a little off and on early. That's a nice shot.
And that's going to be in the gap. No, that's going to be tracked down. Nice play. Porter tags up and scores on that as Niles.
Yeah, makes a great play out there in center field.
I thought that one had hung up a little bit more than I thought, and that's a RBI for Napier on the sac fly, and that's 2 down, and that will bring up Livingood, who reached on an error, and it's going to be up, and on the throw, Ambergy advances to third. Two down, and Johnson needs to get this third out here. And it was up, and that's 2-0. Step off, and they got in. It's going. He's going to score. Ambergy's going to score on the errant throw. And that will make it 6-0.
Bases are clean now.
Yes, and I'm sure that Johnson is kicking himself on that. A lot of times instead of stepping that way, if you just step off and become a fielder, then you can run it down.
Oh.
And it's going to hit Livingood. And
the catcher, number 23. Chase Hendrickson.
And Chase Hendrickson lined out to center the last time. And the pitch is going to get away, and that will send Livingood down to second. Thank you for joining us on Hometown 24. Like I said, we'll be in Breathitt County Friday night for Breathitt County, Leslie County. And the pitch is going to be down, and that's going to be on the Livingood is going to advance to third. Johnson with a pitch, and it's going to be hit to third. It's bobbled by Anderson.
Not a chance here.
And Hendrickson's going to be safe, and the runner will score. And that will make it 7-0, and we'll have a catcher runner for Hendrickson. That will be Mason Barnett will be the courtesy runner. And And Aiden Cornett will come up with 2 outs.
Cornett reached on a walk last time up.
Yep.
Knott County batters doing a good job keeping their hands back on that slow curve.
And the throw goes through, and Barnett will advance to second. Two down, 4 runs in, 7-0 here in the bottom of the second. And Barnett takes off, and the ball gets away from the catcher. I think Barnett thought about it for just a second and decided not to go. Back in the day when I umpired, Donnie Hall would do games for TV 12, and he would make remarks about me that my strike zone was a little down.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to go there.
Cornett with a 3-0 count. And it's going to be ball 4, and Cornett will advance down, and that will bring up Carson Huff, who struck out in the first inning to end the first inning.
For the Patriots, right fielder, number 33, Carson Huff.
So 2 outs for the Patriots.
And Huff goes after it, and the runner will have to go back.
Yeah, you can tell Huff likes to swing.
You know, and I was kind of thinking of someone like Vladimir Guerrero that gets up there and says, you can't throw anything by me.
No, he was probably the best bad ball hitter that I saw. I mean, he could hit one 450 feet off his shoelaces.
Oh, yeah.
And you didn't run on him in right field.
No.
He had a laser.
Kind of like Dave Parker. Anyway. And that's going to get away, and the run will come in for Barnett, and Cornett will advance to third, and that will make it, let's see.
Yeah, 8.
8. Have I got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Yes, 8-0.
You know, Huff, I think he hit his first varsity home run. I think this week.
He's got a lot of bat speed.
Well, when you're long like that, you can generate a lot of energy too. But you know, a lot of times, you know, especially young kids, they hit a home run and they all of a sudden change their swing a little bit and try to overswing instead of just,
open up. Really.
Yeah, instead of just making contact, and when it goes, it goes.
And he skips the rope, and Cornett's going to come in and make it 9-0. And Huff is going to take his base on balls. And that will bring up Cole Watts, who started this inning off being hit with a pitch. Strike on Watts. And Watts gets over, down the left field line.
Left fielder loses the ball in the lights, and that's going to drop for a stand-up double. And
Watts will pick up a RBI.
For the Patriots, the pitcher, number 11, Mason Rachel.
And that will make it 10-0 as Rachel will be up. He popped up to the second baseman. It'll be strike one. Rachel will hit it to the shortstop.
Nice play
with
again.
And it's going to be an out, and that will end the inning for Knott County Central, where they pick up 7 runs to make it 10-0, and we'll head to the top of the third when we come back here on Hometown 24.
My name is Isabella, and I am from Madison County, Kentucky. Instead of choosing a larger university, I chose to attend Alice Lloyd College because I wanted a more personal college experience. The small class sizes provide a close relationship between students and professor that isn't possible at any other university. ALC is more than a place to learn, it is a place to grow, serve, and lead. Learn more at alc.edu.
Come right to the source and get the region's best basketball coverage. HT24 puts you right in the middle of the action, and it's free to watch on Facebook. Watch the state's most exciting basketball right here with HT24.
Welcome back to Knott County Central. Patriots pick up 7 in the bottom of the second, extend their lead out to 10-0, and I think we've got a pitching change as Cole Watts will come in for Knott County Central. We'll
Cole, a
see.
nice, easy throwing right-hander.
Yep. And
Good
Cole,
velocity on the ball.
I'll check out his statistics here in a second when I get to it. As a pitcher this year, he is 0-1 with a 7.00 ERA.
Yeah, very accurate so far in warm-ups. Fastball, got good speed.
And he's got good length to him, so coming out of there, it's a little bit closer.
Curveball right here.
And he will go up against Hunter Anderson, Damon Church, and Chase McNeely to begin the top of the third.
Now pitching for Knott County Central, number 20, Cole Watts. Leading off will be the designated hitter, number 8, Hunter Anderson.
Watts with the first pitch, and it's going to be up. Second pitch, and it's going to be strike one, 1-1. Hunter Anderson batting .222 on the season. Strike two.
Anderson real busy in the batter's box.
Footsie.
Yeah.
And ball two, strike two, 1, 2, and 2. Watts gets that ball, eyes it, and throws it.
Yeah, he doesn't waste a lot of time on the mound.
And that's going to be his first strikeout, and that will bring up Damon Church.
Yeah, nice pitch. I like when a pitcher just gets the ball, all business on the mound, get rid of it. Not a lot of
confidence in himself.
Yeah.
And, he throws it right over the top.
Yep. Reminds me a lot of Jaden Wright at Letcher Central, that over-the-top motion.
And, it's hard to pick up that ball. You're hiding that ball when you come right out of that, and that ball's up.
Got good velocity.
He's got nice size for a kid that grows into his body, and that's going to be grounded to the shortstop. Bad hop on Napier, and he still was able to get the out over there, even after the bad hop. So second out, Jenkins. That ball just came right up on Connor Napier and bit him, and able to get his ball. He's still out there rubbing it.
Did a good job staying with the ball.
But he stayed with the play, and that's what you've got to do. And that will bring up Chase McNeely. And that's ball inside. And that's down to Aiden Cornett. Nice backhand, throws it over, and that's going to be the third out of the inning. 1, 2, 3. And that will end the top of the third, and we'll go to the bottom of the order with Knott County Central when we come back. 10-0. Stay with us here on Hometown 24.
We have determined that you have early onset Alzheimer's disease.
Why me? How could I have prevented this?
Research shows that reducing stress levels, not partaking in substance abuse, and being aware of safety measures are a few ways to prevent it.
So how quickly can this progress?
There's no definitive timeline. Everyone is different.
For over 100 years, the Bank of Hyman has been committed to serving our community and serving the future of our families, homes, and businesses. With our new convenient online banking, viewing your account balance and history, transferring money, and paying bills has never been easier or more secure. And with the construction of our new headquarters, we've renewed our promise to Hyman to stand by our customers even in troubling economic times, because we're not just your bank, we're your neighbors. That's the Bank of Hyman. Log on to www.bankofhyman.com or give us a call at 606-785-3158.
Welcome back to Hometown 24 as the Watts show came in and went 1, 2, 3 for Knott County Central. And that will bring up for Knott County Central Blake Porter, who had a base hit on the play by Owens. Owens came up with a nice shot over there, but Porter used his speed to get to first base. Johnson still on the mound for Jenkins. Little misty air coming down, a little rain looks like.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that from.
I am so thankful that.
We're in the nice dry confines up here underneath the
Thank you,
covered bleachers.
Athletic Director Justin Ambergy, for putting us up here. So kind of felt that a while ago, and that's going to be up and ball one. Makes it a little bit tougher once that ball gets a little bit of moisture on it. And it's hit the third base. Comes up Anderson, nice play, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. Anderson up with it and makes the nice throw. 1 out for Knott County Central. That will bring up Mason Ambergy, who has reached on an error and walked, scored 2 runs. It's going to be ball one. talking about SEC baseball. Kentucky a little bit on a hot streak after defeating the what's that team South on 75?
Man, I don't like to say it out loud. If you say it 3 times, they may show up.
But you know, when you talk about it, and of course I went to Omaha to watch Kentucky play last year. Was fortunate to mark that off my list going to Omaha, and with a Jenkins graduate who went with me, Mr. Eric Grimm. And that's going to be a walk for Ambergy.
Yeah, Connor Napier really stung one to center field last time. Just a great play by the center fielder out there.
Yeah, he, I mean, Niles just got on his horse and ran it down, and I thought it was down, but he said no. And, of course, he walked in the first inning and scored a run. Rain's a little bit harder now. I kind of feel bad for our cameraman.
Yeah, he's looking a little.
He says he's fine.
Well, son, he's tough.
We may need to take him an umbrella over there.
He's tough.
Oh, he's tougher than I am. Ambergy going on to third on the pitch. All the people in the stands here are thankful for the cover as well. And that's going to be inside, and it's going to be 2-1. And it's going to be 3-1. And it's called strike. Napier, I don't think cared too much about that one, but
yeah. And you know, when it starts raining and the lead is 10-0, the strike zone sometimes gets a little larger.
Oh yeah. And it's tapped to Anderson. Anderson looks, but throws it to first, and it's going to get away. And Napier will get it on the era. And that will score Mason Ambergy with his third run of the night, and that will make it 11. Corey Livingood will now be up, who has reached on the era and was hit with a pitch. Scored 2 runs. Napier on first. Strike call, throw goes through, but Napier able to stand up. And the pitch is going to get away as Napier goes on to third. David Adams would be probably talking about basketball right now. I told him it was baseball and softball season the other day. Livingood gets out of the breaking ball out of the way.
He about bent into the breaking ball.
He about did, didn't he?
Yeah.
1-1.
Didn't get out of the way of that one.
Nope. And
his
that's
second
time.
pitch.
Yes.
You know, speaking of softball, you know, you've got still the clouds or the dust hasn't really settled on who the top teams are. You've got 4, maybe 5 teams that are still playing pretty good ball.
And, you know, they're beating up on each other and kind of doing that stuff between Wolfe County, Estill County, Letcher Central, Purry Central, Hazard. Who else did I leave out?
That would be my.
And then you got Knott County Central and Jenkins. And, you know, Jenkins with a big victory against Knott County Central. And that's going to be a hit pitch, hit batter as Hendrickson gets hit by the pitch.
So runners on bases loaded now.
Bases are loaded now, and Burnett will come in for Hendrickson as a courtesy runner, and time is called. let's see, we're going to have a pitching change. So during that pitching change, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll see who's going to be pitching for the Jenkins Cavaliers. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Great communities attract talented people to live, work, and raise their families. We're committed to delivering future-proof broadband so our friends, families, and neighbors can live rich lives in smart rural communities across America. Your community is our community. We're your rural broadband partners. You do great things. We make great things possible.
For over 25 years, we fought for Kentuckians injured through no fault of their own. During that time, we've traveled all across the country to take that fight to some of the biggest insurance carriers and corporations in the world. That kind of dedication is what's needed to get every dollar you deserve. If you've been injured in a motor vehicle collision caused by someone else's fault, call Bates & Slum right now and let us fight for you. The first consultation is free, and the attorney you see that first day will be the same attorney you see from the beginning of your case to the end. That's our promise to you at Bates & Slum.
After the break, it is going to be Chris Anderson pitching for Jenkins. Does not have a varsity record yet, and Chris is the son of my good buddy Chris Anderson, who is a big Atlanta Braves fan. And probably when he hears that I'm going to watch the Braves and the Reds at Bristol, there's plenty of tickets. The only problem is they're very expensive. Very expensive. So I'm not even going to tell everybody how much I spent for mine in the Earnhardt Terrace, which is way up there in left center field. But I do have aisle seats, just in case someone may throw us one from the outfield. But anyway, it's kind of like the Virginia Tech Tennessee game that was played in football there.
Yeah.
It's a spectacle and maybe a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a cool venue, if nothing less.
And then my son and I are going to go from there, and we're going down to watch Premier League soccer in Atlanta the next day. So it's going to be a long, different sports spectacle. So looking forward to it and spending time with my son and enjoying baseball and soccer.
Yeah, it's time well spent. Yeah.
And so Anderson about finished. Yep, he's finished. So now bases loaded. And in steps Aiden Cornett, who has walked. And he was hit on the ankle, and that's going to bring in a run.
Now at this point, the Patriots can muster a couple more runs. That'll put the mercy rule in place at the bottom of the third. And Carson definitely going to be eyeing that long ball right here, I'm sure.
Well, I'm sure he will be. One down, Carson has walked and struck out in the second game of the doubleheader. And that ball's going to get away from the catcher, and in to score will be Living Good. And Burnett and Cornett will advance as well to third and second. And that makes it 13-0. It's called strike. And it'll be 1-1. Ball 2. And by the way, I did renew my UK football season tickets after I thought maybe I wouldn't. And the ball is up. And
not going to have the distance to tag her. They're going to tag. Nope.
And nice throw in, but it gets away from the catcher, and that's going to allow Burnett to score and Cornett to advance to third. And there's two down.
For the Patriots, the pitcher, number 20, Cole Watts.
And Cole Watts will come up where he's been hit by a pitch and had a double, and that will be, he scored 1 run. And even with my new glasses, I could not see home plate.
Well, I don't think anybody can see it at this point. It's been stepped on a lot.
Yeah, and with that rain coming down, it's kind of mixing with the.
You think we can get a ride off the hill, Manus?
I think if we don't get a ride off the hill, then what I'll probably do is run down the hill.
Well, I don't want that to happen, but you got on shorts, which means there's a good chance that we'll get picked up for a ride.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Nice party, church keeping it in front of it.
The runner on third, if he can score, would end the ball game.
And that's going to be a hit batter, and the runner will
Dead
have
ball,
to go
yeah.
back. And that will be the second time that Watts has been hit.
For the Patriots.
And that will bring up Mason Rachel.
Excuse me, Mason Rachel.
Rachel's flew out and hit to the shortstop.
Yep. And
Nice hit ball.
That's going to be hit, bobbled, and then Owens up with it, and
Yeah,
he
Owens
will
makes a
throw
nice
them
play.
out, and that will end the inning as Knott Central will pick up 4 runs in that inning, making it 14-0, and that will send us to the top of the 4th, and we'll do that after we come back on Hometown 24.
TVS Cable has everything you need to stay entertained. Video services with all your favorite channels and local sports on Hometown 24. Ask about digital voice service for home and business.
They showed him that one night.
I know, it was tough.
Oh, man.
TVS Cable has everything you need to stay entertained. Video services with all your favorite channels and local sports on Hometown 24. Ask about digital voice service for home and business. High-speed internet so you never fall behind in a game. There's something for all ages. We've got you covered. Sit back and enjoy everything TVS has to offer. Stay connected with TVS.
My name is Emily, and I'm from Laurel County. When I was searching for a college, I wanted to find a place that felt like home and where I could make a difference. The moment I stepped on Alice Lloyd's campus, I knew this was where I belonged. There's a sense of community here and a focus on serving others that you can't find at other colleges. For me, it wasn't just about continuing education. It was about being a part of something bigger. Apply now to find your home at alc.edu.
What's you said?
Welcome back as we move to the top of the 4th, 14-0, as Watts will remain on the mound for Knott County Central. For Jenkins, it will be Sammy. Excuse me, no. I have the wrong. Did I miss somebody here?
Yeah, it should be Sammy Whitaker.
I had Sammy Whitaker, but maybe I'm wrong in saying so. I believe that is that Preston Hammonds? No, that's not Preston.
Unless they killed the DH.
They must have, is the only thing I can think of. Let's see, let me look at my roster. Make sure I get this. Oh, I don't have a roster.
Oh, I do.
I've said that twice now.
Sorry, I'm daydreaming.
And
Nice
I
hard
said
hit
it,
ball.
And it's down the line. It's going to be foul. Yeah, because Sammy Whitaker is on deck. And I thought that's who was coming up.
Number 2 is Connor Hall.
Connor Hall. Glad we got his name in there. And that's going to be one out, and that will bring up Sammy Whitaker, who struck out in the first inning.
Yeah, I'm not for sure about this, Manus, but I think the Cavaliers need to score.
Pitcher number 4, Damon
4,
Church.
5 to stay in this game if they use the same application as they used last game.
Yep. And the strike call. Watts, who's come in here and
been very efficient.
An inning and a third and has thrown nothing but strikes. Also had a double and been hit twice as a batter. So he's had the full gamut. Cole, I think, is a sophomore. Am I correct in stating that? I believe so. Oh, he's a freshman. So him and Rachel got the makings of up-and-coming pitchers. And it's
hit the plate, I guess.
Foul ball, or hit the bat twice. I'm
Maybe.
not really sure. Kind of behind the play. And looks like the rain has.
Yeah, just a light mist now. And the field really doesn't even look wet.
Yeah, and, talking about NASCAR, Darrell Waltrip would be saying get those cars going in a circle and make that rain go away.
I don't know how much of his physics had.
His background at Franklin.
Yeah.
Owensboro, Kentucky native who moved to Franklin, Tennessee. Him and his Michael Waltrip. And that one's fouled off. We've yet to talk about hunting any at all. We've talked about every sport. Now we can talk hunting and fishing.
Well, I know I won't be here on the broadcast Friday or Monday or Tuesday. I'll be at Lake Chickamauga on the Tennessee River.
Well, I'm glad you're getting to go.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to.
You can listen to me and David.
I sure will.
And that's fouled off. Whitaker continuing to foul off pitches.
Yeah, looking forward to get down there. I've been fishing Car Fork the last few weeks, so Chickamauga a little bit different.
Very much so. A little bit size differential there. Here comes Watts with a pitch, and there's going to be a out. Did he touch it?
I don't know what. I thought that was the third strike.
I'm not sure. Called it a foul ball. So,
well,
Bud Hendrickson, doing what he's taught to do. You go ahead and tag him. And that's going to be foul ball.
I don't know if his pitch counter must be a little off.
Oh, no, my pitch counter must be
No, that
off.
was the fourth strike I had.
Here comes Watts, and it's fouled off. And you got to give Whitaker credit.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to stay there for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I got a real compact swing, just pecking away at it.
Watts trying to close it out here. And it's going to be hit down to Cornett. Cornett up with the ball, throws it.
Nice job.
And it's going to be an out.
Yeah, actually, nice play by Cornett coming up on a slow roller and catching the ball on the run and making a nice throw to get the out.
Had two really good plays tonight
Yeah.
over there on the hot corner.
Yeah.
One of them was hot, and that one was a little bit in between, so made both plays equally well. Owens comes up to bat, and he grounded out to short.
Owens with the big cut right there.
And he was looking to go downtown with that one, too.
Yeah, he didn't get cheated at all right there.
And fouled straight back.
So 0-2 the count. It's a very pleasant evening here.
Especially in April.
Yeah.
You never know. You get a box of chocolates. And Owens fouls it off. And that one's going to roll.
Yeah, I think I see it peeked out the bottom down there.
No, it didn't come out of there. Now, if they planted kudzu over there, it would take care of that. But you don't plant kudzu, do you?
No.
That ball's up. Nice eye that time by Owens.
1-2, the count on Owens.
And, you know, once again, Owens has a highlight in his career that many people will never have.
No, that's true.
Fouled that one off, fighting in there with 2 strikes. One and two outs. Jenkins trying to muster something here. Curveball once again. Tomahawk down the line. Thank you once again for tuning in on this late Wednesday. It ain't too late.
9 o'clock.
It's 9 o'clock. But it's past my bedtime.
Mine too, man. But you know we're a little older.
Yep. Fragile. 1-2 count. Here goes Watts, and
that's
it's
3.
going to strike him out, and that will be the 3rd out. And
I think that's the ball game.
I'm not sure if that's the ball game or not, guys. Let's hold on just a second before we take a break. And
well, the Jenkins players are.
And it looks like it's going to be 14-0. And
player of the game?
Player of the game. Who do you think?
I'm looking at Watts.
Watts, and it'll be Cole Watts will be our player of the game tonight. And Jim, what can you say about this doubleheader, 4 or 5 innings here?
Well, you know, I think that Jenkins has improved over last year, and Devin, Coach Newsom, working really hard with that team. Knott did a great job mixing up their lineups today to let everybody get a chance to play. A lot of young players did some good things out there. Now that Jenkins will move down into that 3rd spot in the district.
Yep.
So, you know, looking like Knott and Letcher. Well, Jenkins not played Letcher yet, but we're kind of gunning for a Knott-Letcher district finale, as it is most of the time. As we pass by a Patriots superfan, Drum Thornsberry gives us a fist bump.
But, you know, a lot of baseball still left. And anytime you can come see us at Hometown 24, come by and see us. Or if you're watching or whatever, we'll give you a shout-out. And Friday night, weather permitting, we'll be at Jackson, Kentucky as Leslie County will travel to face the Breathitt County Bobcats. So, if you can't be there, tune us in. And for all the Hometown 24 crew and everybody that's watching, we're going to say good night and God bless.